roll. We are live, I believe. Yes, we are. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, mate.
How do you feel about streaming? First stream.
Oh, it's pretty exciting being a passive viewer and now being on the other side of it and
For,
seeing how you've set it up. I'm like, wow, there's a lot, a
for the first
lot goes.
time. Bit of
Yeah,
configuration of scenes and profiles and stuff.
it is.
Look, when you start off, when you kick off a stream, it's pretty low key. The only thing that would sit around as evidence is the video on demands after the stream ends that are automatically recorded, and then the actual recordings that you'll keep to edit that you want. But right now, we're just having a chat with ourselves, my friend.
We are.
I
We can
think
chat all day like we have in the past.
we could just keep chatting. We've got two users watching, you and me. Just you and me, buddy.
That's all we need.
That's all we
in
need.
life.
That's all we need. um, well, welcome to my humble little stream. Appreciate you joining me for a nice little Friday qwen setup, maybe local LLM setup. I heard you've got a new MacBook Pro.
I do. Whether it was a wise investment, we'll find out. But to help me get more into AI and then also for video production and editing, just felt like the right move because a Chromebook will not cut it.
Yep, not at all.
No.
Give me 1 second. Call back. Cool. Getting interrupted as soon as I start streaming. Awesome. Well, context. Who are you, and why do you have a MacBook, and why do you want to set up an LLM? What's your story, my friend Sean?
What's my story? Well, yeah, I'm Sean from Sydney. I have been working at Google for the past 7 years, but left about 5 weeks ago to start my own thing. And partly because AI has opened my mind and expanded me to what I think is possible. And so I've been going on this journey since being at Google around like how can I just absorb as much information around what's going on with AI as possible. And since leaving, I have decided to go into the world of YouTube to explore what it means to be a human in an AI native world. And I think that's going to be such an important thing moving forward. And part of that journey is obviously going to be me learning how to use AI. That's hence why I bought the MacBook Pro. And B, because I had a good taste of it while I was at Google, playing with a lot of the internal tools and things that, public users also had access to. But I think the hardest part was just finding time to actually really invest in going deep into it. And I think that's some of the biggest challenges most people face is they want to be more involved, but the time to actually dive into it is really hard to find. Or if you do, you don't really see the value immediately. And so you just have to realize that, a system or process that you set up with AI will pay dividends down the road because it starts to do something for you that you can then divert that energy to something else.
Yep. It starts
So
actually rewarding your life and giving you more than just answers, but actually starting to do things that help you and help other people around you. Tell me a bit more
yeah,
about I guess your own lived experience with them, because you're not from a deeply technical coding background. You weren't studying comp sci in Harvard or anything like that, right?
no, I studied communications. I actually wanted to be a radio presenter. That was what I was
Oh, I can
majored
hear
in.
it. I can hear it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but I say I've got a face for radio. Is that I forgotten the phrase, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Face for radio. That's
Yeah,
a thinly veiled insult.
yeah. So yeah, I actually studied communications, but I think I've always been deeply interested at the intersection of like technology, communication, and human behavior. And in the background throughout like my whole career, or like so to say life, since uni, I've always been really interested in those three things. And so I studied communications, went into advertising, went down that path, and then got myself into project management. And that's where I spent most of my time at Google, is working on project management stuff. Um, Being in the tech industry, like as AI started to come out, I did make sure I started playing around with the tools, and it's been amazing over the past year to download, like learn how to even just download OpenClaw. And I've gone from, okay, I need Llama, I need to learn how to use a terminal, I need to learn like what GitHub is and how to set a repo. And so while I'm still not like super clear on all of that, like it's been fascinating to go and let my curiosity wander into those areas of coding and engineering.
Just from curiosity, because you've been at Google for a while before the whole AI boom had happened, right? There was never kind of like a need or a motivation or something that drew you into learning about like tech and GitHub and all of this stuff before AI. Like, tell me a bit about what AI did to, I guess, motivate you to get closer to tech, and like why do you need to learn any of that stuff?
I think the biggest, so to say, breaking point was the ability to use natural language
Yep.
to manipulate code.
Yep.
And once I was able to just speak and say, what does this code mean? Like, then it was like, okay, it opened the pathway for me to go down it, because before then I would be learning some things at Google, but I'd have to have an engineer with me,
Yep.
sitting next to me, and that would require their time and willingness to help me.
Yep.
And so I think the barrier was broken as soon as natural language English was allowed to be replacing code.
I think the one of the interesting things that motivates a lot of hopefully people that will watch this channel, but also people that are currently facing this with AI, is what do you see as a non-coder? What do you see as the need to learn anything about code or be familiar with these terms at all? Can AI not just do all of this for you? Like, why do you even need to know these concepts if AI can write the code and help you interface with it?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I still don't know. Like, I guess it's more when I go and play around with it now, I'm just basing it off what I know and my knowledge, and then I hit a roadblock. And then that's where I'm like, if the AI can't solve it, then I need to go figure it out.
Yeah.
So I think you're right in that I don't need to learn these things, and I'm not naturally. It's only when there's a roadblock that kind of inhibits me, or the path I've gone down might be wrong, and then I need to like backtrack and understand, okay, why did it go down this path? What did it misunderstand from me in the way I talked to it that led somewhere? If that answers your question.
Oh, like, I mean, this comes to the core of like why AI is taking off and tech in general, right? Like, what's the point in even needing to know any of the tech if AI is doing all of it for you? And I think this is the key question, and it really interesting to think about for the future. Like, we need to know the tech to ground it, to point it in the right direction when it goes off the rails or we get blocked by something, to help understand and like help AI work through that. And so right now, my own view is AI is essentially this incredible tool that can write code, but code is the actual thing that's the enabler. Code is still the thing that's running and building products and, allowing amazing things like, AI editing videos, or, AI creating cool apps or websites or displays of things. So code is still the thing that's the enabler. And it's only when AI can't navigate that 100% that you should have understanding of it and be able to like talk about like why it fails. What happens if AI gets good enough that it never fails, like, and it's able to do everything completely hands off? Does that start removing the need to even know about code? Like, what happens if it stops getting blocked? What do you think?
Now you're making my mind go, like, it's a great question. I haven't really thought about it that way. Like, it almost just feels like it's almost like frictionless work where you can just be who you are and do what you want. And it's like having an always on AI that's just doing things that your brain is trying to think and do. So it's almost like an extension to your point, where you just naturally do something, and then it's like some assistants following you around and doing everything for you in real time.
I mean, like they didn't necessarily land the product, but I think this whole idea of having a co-pilot, having a thing that can sit beside you and, help aid in all of these tasks without you needing to worry too much. It's like, I just want the AI to, put things in the right way and create tools that help me with my day and help to organize things. And then it actually starts getting out of the way. It's like, we're at this weird like transition point where it's amazing. It enables all of these things, but not completely hands off, right? You still need to know the basics, the foundations, what you want to achieve, where the tech is and what AI can accomplish and can't accomplish. But if we get these big capability jumps in the next 5 to 12, 6 to 12 months, I am curious on where we land this time next year, right? Which is probably leading into a whole nother segue on what does that mean? Like, what's your role in it? If AI starts getting really, really advanced, right? The next 12 months are going to be a wild time.
It is. And that's part of the reason why I left, because I feel like I want to redirect my energy in a way where I think the value is going to be for humans in the future. If AI is going to start to take over a lot of the programmatic operation stuff that we're doing already. So,
yep, 100%. But more on that later. I think we could go into a couple of different discussions and segues around what does your role in society look like if it's not what it is today because of AI has changed the fabric of society. We could spend a while on that. Let's do something a little bit more like to the point. We've got a problem in front of us. We've got a fresh MacBook, right? 48 gig, I believe.
Crazy.
Great time to get it too, because they just jacked up the prices. They increased the prices $500 at the top end in US, and so it was a fair bit in AUD. And across many of the lines, I think they went up 300 USD. So if you've got it just before those price increases hit, perfect timing.
I didn't.
Perfect. Oh, you didn't. Oh well.
I was like literally a week from missing it. So yeah.
So you're the unlucky first to get hit by the price increases.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we better make sure that increased price is deservedly utilized.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today? My friend?
You're going to help me download an open source model, and I think we're thinking qwen.
Yes, I think we did a little bit of research. I think if you're depending on what you're using it for, if you were doing coding tasks, qwen has got a very stellar reputation for quality and token speeds locally. If you were doing more knowledge work, or if you needed to look at pictures and stuff as well, you might actually want to play around with your former employer's Gemma. Their open source model is quite good at like knowledge work and can be run locally as well. I think they're some of the first to be able to get it set up on phones and have it run like on mobile devices. But yeah, so local model, before we jump into it, what's the motivation for local model? Why did you want to run that on a MacBook? What's the draw for you?
Because, like, in all honesty, the true answer is no clue at this moment. The reason why is because having played with a lot of these tools, I've learned that that's the only way I get to understand them deeply enough to be like, okay, this is where the value is. Like for me, the open source side is the fact that, if I don't need to pay like Anthropic $150 a month to do some stuff that an open source model can do, then maybe I should start to learn about what some of these ones are able to do and see if I can, offload that to the free side, because it feels like that's going to happen anyway, as we just have started to see qwen's now like topping some of the charts. I don't know which ones competing against some of the other, paid subscribe models.
Yep. Yep. I mean, even something I saw today was might have been for like Gemini or something, but there was a model where they or like an experiment on GitHub I saw where they put a decision framework in to measure the confidence of a local model's decisions, and if it was not confident about something, it would hand off to a cloud model. And so you had a local model that was there for most tasks, and then they were measuring its performance on benchmarks and how often the local model like deferred and said, I can't solve this problem myself, I'll give it to a more expensive model. I could probably go find the link and we could have a look at that too in a little bit, but local models are it's definitely enticing to not have to pay a subscription fee, to have this thing that is always on and to like run constantly on problems that you care about. And then it's not about, oh, is this problem like worth paying for? Then you're like, well, how much can I get out of this model that can like run on my own, computer, right? And you've got a fair bit of memory to play with a 48 gig of unified memory on a MacBook. So let's put it to work. And 100%, this exactly what you're doing is what I think as many people as possible should do. You need to play with these tools to understand them and to see what they can do and what they can do for you, right? Like if you don't expose yourself to them at all, how are you going to form an opinion, and how are you going to know the capabilities of where it's at and how you can use them to solve problems, right? And it's not just a thing for tech people, right? Like people have got this stuff running businesses, running local flower shops, and doing all manner of crazy things. I saw an Instagram the other day. Someone had a model that was controlling their desktop, their PC, and it opened up Hinge on a on a virtual mobile phone and was swiping the profiles for the person. So with great power comes great responsibility. But, like, how do you know what's possible if you don't play? So on that note, how much do you know about local models?
Well, not enough.
Not enough.
Just that they run on your device, first going to a server. It gives you a bit more control and privacy over what you're doing. But beyond that, on like how they work, all those sort of jazz, I'm probably clueless.
Good. That's what we want. Clueless. And then we make it clueful. What we're going to do, and also feel free chat if you want to jump in and ask questions or tell us to go down any rabbit holes. If you've got opinions on what the best local model are, jump in and let us know. We are happy to be driven in this conversation too. I've never actually sat down, apart from I think testing Gemma and testing some local models, sat down and done like a full setup and tried driving, an end-to-end thing with AI local models. So I haven't built like a product or whatever, or seen its capabilities. So I'm quite curious as well. We thought it'd just be a bit more fun to do this hanging out rather than just do it in isolation, doing a bit of setup. So let's start with a little Google, shall we? You want to pop open a web browser and see what the go is. I also notice you've got Claude down there.
Yes.
So we might make use of that, which is also 100% a valid use of Claude. Whatever gets set up, would be interested to see how much you could push it. Will it melt the MacBook from MERS? We'll find out together, shall we?
Launch them all.
We'll see if we can set the MacBook CPU on fire. So let's just do just do a little Google to find out what the current state is. What's the best local model for a MacBook 48 gigabyte? We'll start by getting the lay of the land and reading the current state of play, and then we'll go from there into probably VLLM or Olama setup. Top recommendation is qwen 3.6 35B A3B Q4 quantization, which fits in 22 gig of memory. So that'll take up about half of your memory, leaving you the other half to do whatever you want to do, right? You do want to leave some memory for other things, otherwise your machine would only be able to run the model and nothing else. So
yeah,
that's a good probably start point to aim for, and then we can play from there. And you'll see
sorry, you go.
You'll see it also recommends Gemma for as an alternative, which is going to be similar token speeds, it reckons. But it's going to be better for explanation heavy, so for pros or for like having vision supported as well.
22 gigabytes be on the higher end of the spectrum?
I mean, no, is that like for a local model? You're going to get better. You're you're going to get better quality with better parameter sizes and better quantization. So what they do with these models is they'll take the full FP16, like the full representation of the model's like brain and its weights, and they truncate it and they smush it, and that like makes it a little bit dumber, but it still preserves a lot of its performance. The more you quantize, the dumber it gets, because it throws away some of the nuance and some of the decisions it would be making, but it reduces the amount of like RAM it needs to run on your PC, right? So the bigger the model, the bigger the memory, and the better the model. You're essentially wanting to use as much RAM as possible to run a model, but not all models come at every single possible size. You're kind of choosing different levels of quantization, and you're kind of, all of these models are essentially trade-offs between intelligence to RAM to speed to cost. Like there's a trade-off for all of these things, and so the recommendations you end up settling on are not necessarily the thing that makes, uses up all of the memory on your PC, because it's not like a linear curve. If you could get the same performance for half the memory, you choose that model because it's a good trade-off. And so this one, qwen 3.6 35B, is likely going to be a pretty good bench trade-off of quality to memory usage and speed. And all of those things combined, you say, well, you could do something that uses a bit more memory, but it might not be worth it. It might not be worth like reducing your system's memory for not that much gain. If you could use double the memory and get double the performance, makes it a much more attractive option, right? But that's not exactly how these open source models work. So let's just start with one, see how it runs, and then see how it goes. And specifically the one that it's recommending, qwen 3.6 35B A3B, you'll see that it says it delivers 35 to 91 tokens per second, as opposed to Gemma 4 says 30 to 50. And so you'll notice those differences in speed when you're running it locally. 90 tokens per second is pretty good, right? Like you'll get pretty snappy responses, and qwen's, pretty good at these coding tasks. So we'll be able to make some interesting stuff. So let's do that next then. Let's say, what's the best framework to run qwen 3.6 32B on a MacBook Pro 48GB? And I'm hoping it'll say for local single user, Olama or llama.cp. If you need vision support or you want to use the model on very low VRAM, otherwise use Olama because it's probably simpler, or use VLLM if you want high throughput and production endpoints. I'd say Olama is probably the easiest way to get started, but we also have Claude if we wanted to take the high throughput version and use VLLM, because Claude could possibly handle a lot of those details. But maybe we'll do the simple one first and go with the complex option, because we want to say, all right, you're setting this up for the first time. You just want to get going. Like, you want to have your first model run. So let's not like boil the ocean. Let's just get something working, right? And Olama kind of has that reputation of super easy to get started with it. So if you just Google Olama, download that application, that'll actually give you like a DMG to install, and then you can use that to like run a local model, and then it gives you an interface that's just super easy to use. I think you might even have it already.
Yes, I actually...
Perfect. Well, that makes setting it up even easier then.
There we go.
Awesome. So, copy a command and run it in your terminal. We need a model first before we run any of these things. So what we wanted to do is probably consult the docs would be my next option. Olama model setup. This is saying to just launch Olama in Claude Code or like run it in these different interfaces, but we need to pull it first, which might require us to run some commands. Quick start, open the menu, run a model, launch tools, start a chat. What we want to do, it says for 35B, Olama run qwen 3.6 35B is probably the easiest like command to start with. So maybe we'll try that. Do you want to copy paste that Olama run command in browser? So use Olama run qwen 3.6 35B.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we'll go into the terminal. So that little one down there. And then, yeah, just paste a little, possibly malware. Paste that and just run that and see if that works. Let's see if your PC is set up and happy to go. Seems to be fine. Cool. And off it goes. So you'll see it'll pull down 23 gigabytes of data. This is probably going to take a while, so we can chat for the next 20 minutes. And then hopefully we'll have the model locally. It's pretty big. Models that are good are going to be big. The highest end ones will take, like you can do the math. If we have a FP16 1 trillion size model, how much RAM? 1 trillion parameters, full size model would require 2 terabytes of memory. So that would be, what would that be? That would be 2 of your MacBooks, 100 gigabytes-ish. Just round up to 50. Two of your MacBooks would be 100, and then we'd want 10 of those. So we'd want 20 of your MacBooks to have a terabyte of memory, and we'd want 40 of them to have full 2 terabytes. So 40 MacBook Pros could run a 1 trillion parameter size model.
So a little laptop farm.
Yeah. And if we say DeepSeek V4, is that the one that's coming out? No. DeepSeek new training.
It's just got a question. What model equivalent is 1 terabyte?
What model equivalent is 1 terabyte?
1T.
1T. So what we're probably saying is it's probably like a number of parameters. Let's check this.
1 trillion, sorry.
GLM5. So I'm checking for open model. I'm having a quick Google for open model parameter counts and comparing them. So the ones you know about are like the open models. So Chinese models, they'll tell you because they'll publish their models openly, and they'll be like, this is exactly how many parameters this particular model has and then how many are active, right? So if we look up 2 of the more famous ones, GLM 5.2 from ZAI has between 744 billion to 753 billion total parameters. And so 1 trillion would be a little bit higher than GLM 5.2, which is probably Opus level. Kimi K3 is the most recent, biggest newsworthy model that is making headlines on how good it is compared to a lot of the Western models, because the state was always that Chinese models lagged a bit, like they were a little bit behind, they were a little bit dumber, but they were a hell of a lot cheaper than the Frontier Lab models from Claude and OpenAI. So Kimi K3 has nearly 3 trillion parameters, and that is basically getting to GPT 5.6 level and just a bit lower than Fable, but in theory better than Opus, or at least better than the current Opus. Rumors are Opus 5 is going to be released like this week as well, or it was. I haven't seen it yet, unless it's come out while we've been talking. So yeah, people are still asking about it. Theo says, is Opus 5 still happening today? And somebody said that Opus 5 is live for some accounts under the Opus 4.8 model for being tested. So rumors are still that it's being tested, but yeah, Kimi K3 is kind of like, it came out and it's surprisingly good. But that's 3 trillion. So 1 trillion is like a third of Kimi K3. 1 trillion is more like a GLM 5.2. Good question. Any other questions in the chat? Joined by a whole bunch of people today. Welcome to the stream. Me and Sean are basically doing some qwen setup on a fresh MacBook Pro. Easiest way we're doing this today to get started is just with Olama. How's that download going? But if you're in the chat and you wanted to ask any questions to Sean, if you've ever heard of tech companies being good places to work, Sean spent 7 years making that so at Google in Australia. So if you have any questions about, workplace tech life, or like how good it is on the other side, if you've never had the opportunity to like go and actually work there, or just thoughts about what work should look like in this ridiculously fast-paced society where AI is evolving on a daily basis. That's what we're here to chat about. Here to field all and any questions. We're here for you.
I actually do have a question. I've been hearing on some podcasts, like, I probably haven't looked it up, but what's the difference between open source and open weighted?
Mm-hmm.
These two phrases that I keep hearing, and there's some difference that I just haven't looked into yet. But I wonder if you knew that.
I have an interpretation off the top of my head, but I'm wondering if there is a more formal definition. Let me Google it real quick and I'll break it down for you. So there's definitely a difference. Open source has been around for a long time, and open source basically means you've shared the source code behind something, the code behind how it was built. And so if I give you an open source AI model, I'm showing you exactly how I built it, and then you could build it yourself and all of the tips and tricks and the code behind it. Open weight models don't actually require them to share the code behind it. You can build a model with some code you're not going to share using some secret tips and tricks and just share the final product, the model that comes out of it at the end. And so people could use the model and see the model, but they might not have any insight into how it was built. And so I think this is what many of the Chinese models are. They'll release these open weight models. So you can grab one of these massive models that you hear about, like Kimi K3. You could download it right now. You need 2 terabytes of disk space to download it, and you need some crazy GPUs to run it, but there is nothing stopping you from doing that, right? But if you wanted to build your own version of it and use the same techniques they used, you can't do that because that's like the proprietary knowledge, the secret sauce behind the amazing model, the techniques, the data sets, the reinforcement learning, et cetera, that's the magic. And so that's where like vendors will have their competitive advantage. They'll be like, look at how good our model is. You can use it and run it and then tell us how good it is, but we're not telling you how you can build it. Like that's our proprietary knowledge, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that's where it's coming from is I think in this podcast I remember listening to, they were saying, no, we shouldn't be calling it open source. We should be calling it open weighted. Yeah. Because you're not actually being able to see the source code and do things. And so there is a big difference. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the second it's open source, you've got no secrets, right? Like anybody can replicate it. A frontier lab can take your secrets, put it in their product and monetize it and do more with it. And so you're basically throwing away any kind of competitive advantage. Open source software is not about competitive advantage or monetization. Like you're showing people exactly how the code works. You're letting other people contribute to it. But if you're trying to sell some kind of like a knowledge based on IP and you're like, oh, we can do something that no one else can, the second it's open source, anyone can do that, right? Any competitor could grab it, build something slightly better and say, yeah, we've got a better product than they do. Clearly theirs is terrible for these reasons. So open source is an interesting field. Like, even the idea about spending a bunch of time and knowledge and getting really smart people to build software and then just share it. Like, where's the economic sense in that? Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone not just build products and like use their knowledge to make money, And so open source has kind of always been in this interesting zone where it's like, what's the incentive to do it when you're not getting anything for it? By the same token, a lot of AI that we're actually using and building on top of is purely because there's been such strong open source tools. So, many companies release open source packages. Google had TensorFlow for building and training models. There was PyTorch as well. That was very popular in the research community. There's all of these strong Python and JavaScript packages for doing web content and building out data analysis on your laptop with Python packages. All of that's open source as well. And so it actually enables a lot. The fact that you and me can do a lot with AI using code is because there's strong open source offerings for us to, use to have our models write the code that uses those open source packages to do that stuff. But where's the incentive in it, right? It's a similar thing with China. If they've got such good models, especially if China's models start becoming a lot better, like there's always been this thing where it's like American models are still ahead. But what if the next Fable 6, is actually coming from a Chinese company? Does China just keep on sharing that, right? Because then you think about that starts flipping a bunch of the narratives quite a lot. You know, Anthropic and OpenAI have the best models, have the best intelligence. You have to go to them to get the forefront models all the time. You can't just have like a hyperscaler like Amazon or Google or SpaceX run a better model, because they don't have the better model. Anthropic has the better model. But imagine that China releases something that's better than Fable 5, and then SpaceX or Amazon can just run that. And then if you wanted the best model, you're not actually going to the Frontier Labs anymore. You're going to any other company, right? That flips a lot of what the like big AI bubble is built on right now. I don't know if that will happen, because the rumors are that like Chinese models are generally training and using a lot of the outputs and tips and tricks from American models, and so by definition they should always be lagged a bit. But if they were to come and overtake and have better models, that puts the world and AI in a very interesting different place. There's a lot of eyes on what Chinese government and like Chinese policy will do around keeping their models open at the moment. So it'll be, and you know, we're downloading one right now, right? Like Qwen is Alibaba, I think. Let me check. Qwen, is that Alibaba? Alibaba Cloud hosts Qwen, but does it come from, who was Qwen built by? Yeah, developed by Alibaba Cloud, which is the Amazon of China, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, where the best model that we can possibly run on your local MacBook is built by the Amazon of China. We get to benefit, and a lot of people are quite happy for the open weight models and like having competition. There's a lot of startups that are in the US that don't want to pay the massive price tags of Claude, that are, you know, using Chinese models to save costs. So it's a very interesting geopolitical situation right now on both sides. We'll have to see.
It comes back to the initial concept of like they had to scrape the internet to build these models anyway. So in reality, it should be open source because they've used everyone's data to some degree to build them. So, you know, it's funny that they get to gatekeep and charge a price on something that required our or the world's information. So
true.
Yeah.
True. And now that they've built the models on top of this, you know, massive wealth of public information, it's where do you think the data to train the next models is coming from, right? Like, where is the data that trains the next Claude actually being sourced from? Is it being sourced from the internet still? Yes, but now that, you know, ChatGPT has hundreds of millions of users on a daily basis on the web interface, their Codex, ChatGPT's Codex app, went from 6 million to over 10 million users in a week, in like this last week. Like, it's more than doubled as a user base. They keep on giving away free resets to people in terms of like resetting their quotas every week because of their like insane growth. The data, like I think a big like part of the data that they will build the next versions of AI on are just based on the chats that people are actually having with AI, right? Like, you think about sharing knowledge. You might write a blog post in, you know, pre-AI, and you just say, oh, cool, I want to share this knowledge. I'm an expert. I want to give back to the field, but you have to go and become a blogger and write it down and put it somewhere, or put it on some forums. Like, you have to put that information somewhere in the internet, and then AI is trained on that, right? But as an expert, now if you're working on something, you'll go and have that discussion with AI, have some back and forth, give your like unique expert lens, put that in a conversation, and you're sharing your knowledge directly to this hub of information as like a one-on-one chat, right? And so if you think about the amount of data that these frontier labs are capturing on conversations that we're having every day, it's almost like the new way of disseminating information, which the internet was like, you know, fucking groundbreaking for, right? The internet like completely changed how people can share information. You put it there and everyone in the world can access it, right? These models now, you put the information straight into the model, then the next model is trained on top of that, and then it disseminates to the entire world, like in real time on tasks that they're actually trying to solve, right? It's like AI is almost becoming the next version of an internet in terms of sharing information, but also capturing information and doing something with it, right? So as experts solve new problems and harder things, that all becomes chat logs that feed into this massive engine of data that Frontier Labs are using to actually strengthen them. It's a really interesting way to think about like information dissemination. Using AI is disseminating it, right? Yes, you're getting something, but you're also giving something.
Yeah, you're training it to take your job.
Right? Now, if you tell me some health facts, would I train a model on your health facts? Did you study med? Do you know what you're talking about? Are you a doctor? Like, does it make sense to trust you? Probably not. But if you've got like a pretty good understanding of who someone is and what they do and what their knowledge is and what kind of things that they talk about that they should be trusted in saying, you can take those conversations and use those to train the best models. So you can basically take the best conversations from the best experts and use those to guide the next generation of models as you're building these things, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting times. I'm really curious to see what this next 12 months holds, honestly. It's going to be fascinating.
You've got a good question. Should AI be public service or paid subscription?
Should it be a public service or a paid subscription? It's a good question. Do you have any thoughts on that to start with, Sean?
I mean, I guess as it becomes more fragmented, like I think there's some tools, like for example, like Flow is one of these tools with Google where you can do like video generation and direct, which I think could be more of a paid service because it's a tool that is helping you do something. But I think like general search and knowledge that's come from the internet is probably more of a public service in my mind when it's more of a general query about knowledge and the internet. So
agree. I think a portion of models should be a portion of the usage should be more or less public service, but arguably it already is. Like anyone can use ChatGPT for free, right? Anyone can use Gemini for free. Anyone that runs a Google search even without being logged in gets the AI summaries. Are they getting the best models? Not necessarily, because the best models are hard and competitive and, constantly evolving, and they are expensive to build. Like there is a massive cost in building these things. And so, not going to pay for themselves, right? And when they're doing advanced work, like helping you to code, especially the coding model is a great example of that. You're using it directly to solve problems and to build businesses and to make money. Should you be able to do that for free at the highest levels? I think at some level, I think it could make sense to be a public service, but I think AI companies are already doing that to an extent. I think anyone should be able to get to it, right? Like if you are living in a rural area of Malaysia and you're going through school and you need help answering certain questions and so you wanted to use these models, I think that should be accessible, right? And I think that is essentially what ChatGPT already does. I don't think just being in a country that has rich internet access and the ability to afford this stuff should gatekeep you from knowledge. So I think there is a responsibility that tech companies that build AI have to the broader world to make sure that you can access them regardless of your financial or social circumstances. But by the same token, if you're using AI to build $1 billion business and you don't have to pay anything for it, who's paying for it, right? I think the people that can afford it and are building making a lot of money for it should pay for it, should actually put money into funding it to make sure that like all of the investments that go into it can benefit people that are, not necessarily living in like a, first class, super fortunate society and have money for subscriptions, right? Like I think if you can't afford Netflix, you should still be able to use AI. That's my own take on it.
We are finished.
Let's
download's done.
Do the next step then. Let's see what we can do. So maybe we'll try the next step back from your Olama interface itself, because I noticed it had a whole bunch of buttons for launching.
Yep.
I'll move this over and keep the bit of the screen that's responsible in focus. ChatGPT, Hermes, OpenClaw, Codex, Claude Code. I see Claude Code's already installed. Maybe that's a good place to start.
Yep.
So did you want to try doing the Olama launch Claude and see what happens? Give that a little copy.
Yep.
Whack that into the terminal and let's see what happens. Oh, no, it's already, hold on. I think it's already running. I think you're already in a prompt.
All right.
You can't run Claude using Olama. Claude is a proprietary model. I think you're already in the chat. So you can say, what process are you... Ask it, do you know what process you're running in right now? So first, I think we're already in qwen 3.6. So qwen 3.6 at this point should already be running on your MacBook. One thing that we might want to do to just check how much it's, how many resources it's taking, is to open up Activity Monitor and see how much RAM this has taken or what process has taken it. I don't have visibility into my runtime environment. If you're trying to debug performance or understand the LLM inference, tell me what stack you're using. Before we go into that, hit Command Space, and that'll bring up your lookup thing, and then just search for activity. Yeah, that's the one, Activity Monitor. And this will pull up the list of processes, and then it should automatically be ordered by CPU, and the one at the very top of, that's Discord. Let's do, where's memory? All right, click on the memory tab. Awesome. You see Llama server there?
Yeah.
24 gig. That's your model running.
Okay.
So it is loaded. It is in memory right now, and it's running. I haven't used Olama for a bit. Let's check real quick. Olama, how many, when you run Olama run, what runs in terminal? Let's check real quick. If you click on qwen 3, if you go back onto the terminal interface and just run can you check my files? What we want to check real quick is, in whatever interface this is, to be determined, which seems just like an interactive REPL. Okay. This can't, okay, so this is just a direct REPL, read, execute, print loop. It doesn't have tools. It can just it shows you the thinking and the output and lets you do input, but that's all it is. This is like a raw experience with a local LLM. You put text in, you get text out, nothing else. You can't run stuff, it can't write code, it can't check stuff in your system. It doesn't know anything. So you've got a model, the model runs, you can ask it questions, but that's all you can do. This is like the chat only interface, right?
Yeah.
We probably want to do a little bit more, right? If you think AI, you think Claude Code. Why do you think Claude Code? It's because in Claude Code, you can do stuff you can't do in ChatGPT or, Gemini or anything, So tell me, now that we've got a model, we do need to get it running in Claude Code. But before we do, what do you want to do with it? Why do we want it in Claude Code? What's the task that you want to actually start using qwen for?
I haven't actually really thought about that, but something that, even just running routines, it'd be cool to have a routine that runs and says, hey, this is the emails that have come in today. This was your calendar. Did you actually do all of this? How do we need to redesign your next day or the week ahead? Mm-hmm. Sort of like a productivity or a day planner helper. Yep.
Like a little day planner helper just to look at signals. Collecting the signals, I probably as much as I'd love to read your emails on stream. I reckon what we might be able to do that's probably a little bit, especially because you've got a fresh MacBook, right?
Yeah.
We could even just decide have a little routine that runs every day to keep an eye on your files. Have we got too many things running? Is it messy or disorganized? Have I dropped a whole bunch of screenshots because I was editing a video locally? That could be fun because it's, just keeping an eye on that you're not getting your files out of order, and files are reasonably important even with AI. The other idea I had maybe was because I know as you're doing YouTube and creating content and creating videos, you're gonna have a whole bunch of ideas constantly. What could I do? What are ideas for videos? What do I want like active? Or you might want to do research around certain topics. So something that I've found useful that I've built a version of for myself is like a what I'm calling a signal room. It's like a place to organize your thoughts and organize your videos and use as basically a bit of a brain dump and like a way to organize plans for the future. That could also be an app that we could just build or test out Qwen's abilities on. Could do a couple of things. What piques your interest? Does that give you any more ideas?
I mean, just that thought of like what are even like web clipping, content that relates. You've heard about the Kapathi's knowledge base and like building a brain. Like, how do we get it to like look on the internet for specific topics, and pull those in each day to kind of review? So it's almost like a personalized X feed without getting caught in a doom scroll on a topic you just totally didn't want to go there for because you got distracted.
Yep. All right, let's we could do that, although I'm not as researched on building knowledge bases as I am on building web apps, but we could create like an ideas organizer. I feel like web apps are probably the easier thing for me to like talk you through and get started with.
I love that.
Let's start by seeing if we can even open it up in Claude, because we want to do something with code, right? So I'm going to zoom in a bit. Do we want to do let's I think you've still got Claude Llama launch Claude copied to your keyboard. Do you want to press Control D is usually a way to exit out of these things, or slash exit, one of the two? Oh, no, that's Command D. Control D is the other one. That's the little upwards caret symbol. Cool. So that gets you out of that.
Yep.
Now you should be able to just paste that command again. I think it's still on your clipboard. Yep. So we got out of the REPL. Claude Code is not installed. It is. What are you talking about, buddy? What do you mean?
Maybe because I split the... Did I open a new tab or...
You did open a new tab, but I think this is saying you haven't got Claude Code, the terminal application installed. You've got Claude Desktop installed, but not necessarily the terminal.
No.
And so I think Ollama is leading you down a garden path of connecting your local model, not into a desktop application right now, but into a terminal experience. We can start there. I mean, this is part of the journey of discovery as well, right? I mean, I think it's more useful if you have like a visual interface, and Claude Desktop and Codex have come a long way into making that very accessible. But let's start with let's hit yes and start with the terminal application. What's your terminal experience? How much time have you spent working in terminals?
I mean, it's on and off, and it's like, learning a language. It's good when you're using it, and then when you stop using it, you forget. And so I'm not good with shortcuts. Like, I know there's probably a heap of shortcuts for using terminals. I've no clue about what they are and which ones I should use, but
they disappear real quickly if you're not using them, right? Use it or lose it. That's the way.
Yeah.
So terminals are great. I basically lived in a terminal for 10 years. I love them. I love NeoVim setups and LSPs and, putting all of the crazy Lua plugins and, just getting everything running in terminals. But it is daunting. It's a different environment. It's very text-based and heavy. And most people don't customize terminals to be like, nice. What have we got? Select model for Claude Code. None of these. If you go down to your Qwen 3.635B, hit that. So this is installed Claude Code. Dark mode's fine. Yep. Claude can make mistakes, sure. Yes, we'll use the recommended settings, sure. Yes, I trust this folder. Absolutely, you trust this folder. Sure. And then it'll ask you for all of your folders. Sure.
I don't have an iCloud account.
Desktop. It's because we opened it up in your home folder, and so it like makes sure it can access all of the fold like little subfolders after that, and each of those like documents and photo access, and can it access things in your photo library, etc., terminal. We probably would have gotten away with a little bit more if we didn't do it like that. Let's do two things. If you right click, if you double finger click or select the pane above, there's a gray divider, and you've got two panes, one on the top, one on the bottom. We probably want to close that one on the top if we can. I think if you right click in the middle of it, it'll have something for. It won't actually. Won't have anything. If you scroll down, can you scroll down all the way to the bottom of the top one? It's showing the same thing. Useless. Alrighty then. Just drag it up there. Forget about it for now. It's the same view to the same thing.
Done short. I press Command D.
Yes.
I don't know if I push it again, if that's going to...
That'll just add another split, and then you'll have like four of them.
Split.
How to close a single pane Mac terminal. If this was iTerm 2, you'd have, if you were using the terminal more often, I would highly suggest you do some setup of the emulator, the program that runs around it, and the colors and like a whole bunch of other stuff that just makes working in it a lot nicer. But we're not going to do that here. What you can do is press Shift Command D. If you click on that, maybe click on the top one, and then do Shift Command D, which is not Control.
Yeah.
There we go. We're back to just one.
Yeah.
Cool. Say now we'll say hi. Give it the old hi. We're not burning trees because it's just running on your laptop. We're just burning your laptop, I guess. And then we get a full Claude Code experience, but now it's running against qwen 3.6.
Yeah, I'm trying to melt my MacBook, so that's the goal.
Can you hear it? Is there a fan running in the background? Like,
not yet. We've got a long way to go.
we're gonna have to give it some more tasks.
Yeah.
We get less of the immediate output because it'll be doing a bunch of thinking in the background. So it took 30 seconds for us to get a reply for hi.
Good thing I'm patient.
Good thing you're patient. So let's, what should we do? Maybe we'll get it to create maybe say that you want to start working on a little project around maybe making a research web clipping dashboard, and you just want it to create the right folder for it and create a little hello world file, maybe like a readme.md. Something like that, yeah. And all we want to test right now is tool calling. Can it figure out the right place to put it? Can it have enough knowledge of how your PC works? Can it go and like make the folder? Like, we're testing basics again, right? Like, we're saying we know that Claude can do all of this stuff and ChatGPT can do all of this stuff, no problem, but we're doing something local, right? Can it follow simple instructions? Can it run simple commands? I want to see that first before we start getting it to say, all right, now do everything, right? Step by step. And also, another important thing is how it operates a harness, right? When we were in our... Wow, that was a lot quicker. Where would you like to put this project? A few common options: research, projects, or other. That's great.
Would you usually say in the home directory?
I mean, it's up to you where you like to organize files. Some people like to keep things in a subdirectory under documents, because when you open up your Mac desktop, like, it'll give you the choices of, documents or desktop or these things. Some people like putting them under desktop. Other people like having a projects folder under their home folder. So I would probably be going under the tilde projects #2, because then you can keep all of your kind of projects in one place. Some people organize by GitHub repos, so they'll have like a GitHub repos folder under their home folder. You can choose anything. Projects works for now, and then you'll have like a single folder dedicated to that. And now it's trying to run commands. Sick. There you go. Can it create the folder and echo created successfully? Yes. How's your bash? You familiar with bash?
Yes, but I've forgotten what it is and what it does.
Excellent. What you're seeing right here are bash commands. Stands for the born again shell, and ended up being like the most popular, I guess, or like well-known terminal shell experience. So the shell is the thing that actually runs your commands and like knows how to work your computer. And bash is just the default on MacBooks, or actually ZSH ends up being, but bash compatible things on MacBooks and on Unix systems, which run most of the other internet. The only thing that's not really bash is Windows. So if you're on anything other than Windows, bash is your man. And bash, because these commands can do things like create files and create folders and run programs, it can do anything, right? There's this whole thing, there's this whole like rigmarole on MCP servers and like, tool calling and like API connections and blah, 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 blah. The fact is, any of those things could run in bash. So if you can run bash, you can do literally anything a computer can do, right? You want to hack a system? It's a set of bash commands. You want to create a program? It's a set of bash commands. You want to make a folder and move some files around? It's another set of bash commands. If you want to edit a video, it's another bash command just with a different program, right? So bash is actually like your portal into a computer doing anything. If it can run bash, it can take control of your entire computer and do all sorts of wild things. So very powerful. This is what makes models useful. Right now, it's being useful by creating a folder. So run that. Good evening. What local hardware are we targeting with qwen? Welcome to the chat, Zanar. How you doing? Me and my friend Sean are setting up Sean's brand new MacBook Pro, 48 gigabytes. Pro, right? Not a Max.
MacBook Pro.
Beauty. And we wanted to get a little local model set up. So we've got Olama. We've pulled qwen 3.6, 38B, 32B. 32B A4B, was that the one? qwen 3.6 35B? 35B.
35B.
35B A3, that's the one. We pulled that no llama and we're running it in Claude Code and we're just testing it out for the first time. It's just, just starting with it. Just starting out with whatever the best on local hardware is right now and putting it through its paces. Sean hasn't done local LLMs before. I haven't done them for quite a while, and definitely not the most recent one. So I'm kind of keen to see how well it can drive, Claude Code and what its capabilities are. I want to see how well it can create like some web designs, like how much juice can you get out of a model without having to go up to a frontier model. What was the last local one I used? Oh man, I might have used like one of the very, very early qwens briefly. Probably the most recent one would have been Gemma. I tested it like very briefly on my mobile phone because like I was like, oh my god, an LLM on a phone. But yeah, definitely not some of the recent ones. So like I wouldn't have touched it within a year, and a lot of stuff has changed within a year. Gemma is incredible on phones. Yeah, like. I was impressed, like very impressed about what I was able to do just like on a mobile, honestly. I'm like, how can you compress so much information just onto a phone? Like it's just insane. It's just insane where these things are getting.
But it's funny you say that because it's like when we first started having mobile phones, you had to delete photos to have enough memory on it. Like that's sort of what we're going through now again, and it's like we're going to feel like we're idiots thinking, oh my god, Gemma was on our mobile. It's like, yeah, that's normal,
100%. Oh man, it was shock horror being like, you can have a calculator on your phone. How is anybody not going to cheat at school? They're just going to cheat on all of their math exams, right? Like 3.635B is definitely top tier for local MOE models. What quant are we targeting? I think this is just default A4B. So 4-bit. We're kind of going with whatever's easiest to get set up on Olama and get set up on a Q4M. Yes, Q4M, sorry. Whatever is easiest to get set up on a MacBook. So whatever default qwen 3.6 is on Olama is kind of like what we're running with. So Q4M 35B is definitely what we're dealing with. So I'm keen to see I'm keen to see it's because I generally judge models more on how well they can create like simple web content and how much they run into problems. So like Gemini will just constantly give me something that doesn't work, and I'm like, all right, it's not very good. And then Fable will one shot the most ridiculous things you've ever seen. So that's kind of like where I'm keen to see, but you know, just we'll see what we can do. We'll see where we can push it. Done. Research web clipping has been created. What kind of web clipping tool are you thinking about? For example, a bookmark collector, content extraction, screenshot capture, RSS feed aggregation. So it's even given us some options. It knows how to ask the right questions. What are you thinking, Sean?
I mean, screenshot capture always seems like the easiest one, but what are your thoughts?
A screenshot capture is great. Just a way to organize screenshots. Like, would you want it to help you capture screenshots, or would you want it to help you like organize screenshots that you're capturing else otherwise?
Yeah, like probably as it's saying there, like pull the text out, because that is something I do quite often. Just put it into Claude or Perplexity or Gemini just to pull text out of screenshot and images.
This is where we'll probably start running into the bits where it's not quite as advanced as where like the frontier models are. So I don't know if Olama supports images. Maybe Zanar will know actually. Do you know if Olama and Qwen are text only, or they also support like image recognition? Olama image recognition. Visual models. Qwen 3.6 is natively multimodal. Is Olama multimodal? Well, let's give it a go then. Let's give it a go. Let's try. Let's test it. If you go and take a screenshot of something, I don't know if you know, Command Shift 4, I think, puts you in screenshot mode. And then if you drag a box around some text, and then if you press, so not Command, Control V, I think.
Control V.
No.
No.
Paste that. Claude, image paste. Alt V.
So Command Alt V.
Just Alt V, I think, which is the option for you, I think.
No.
Not. That's for Windows. That's not useful at all. Command Shift 4, Command V. All right, Command V. Try Command V, I guess. Not that paste that. No good. All right, let's do this. If you go into your Explorer, if you open up your like Finder, your file explorer on MacBook, we should be able to just find that like screenshot on desktop, and then we should be able to just drag it in, or dragging it in, even if it doesn't drag the image, should still drag the like file path, and we could say, hey, can you tell me what text is in this image, and we'll see if we can do that.
So you want to just drag the screenshot that's on the desktop?
Yeah, but if you find that in your either get it on desktop or open up the Finder app, and that'll open up that works too. Just drag that in. Yep. And just ask it, what text is in here? What do we got? Can it do it? Fascinating.
Does Claude not show you the thinking traces?
Not by default. Can you turn on Claude Code thinking? Wow, it did it. Right on.
That's cool.
Good question. Claude thinking now hides its reasoning. The display field on the thinking configuration controls whether that summary is returned at all. Summarized returns it. Omitted, the default on the newest models, returns thinking blocks with an empty thinking field. Either way, the block is billed the same and passed back in the same multi-turn conversations. This is for just messages API though. From what I understand, the thinking tokens are intentionally not exposed in the session history. Anthropic sends them as encrypted thinking blocks, which CC either strips or stores in JSON. Yeah. I think Claude Code itself hides it now. Can you show thinking tokens in Claude Code? Any config? I'll do a little search in the background while we're doing this. Okay, so it can definitely understand images for sure. If you look at the actual Claude Code logs, the thinking blocks are empty now and they have text blocks with reasoning. Is the reasoning... Can you show the reasoning in the interface? Good call, RKT. Checking the current Claude Code settings and Llama compatibility. Yeah, it'd be good to see the reasoning trace. It helps me build trust. Okay, so we can definitely handle images in this model. Let's tell it to go through an image organizer to be able to extract the text from images and then to organize that in like a web app. Let's tell it that, Sean, I reckon, and see if it can build that as a little app. Web app. Not for this. I'd say build a web app that can do these as capabilities because we don't want it to organize just this text. We want it to build as a general app for build a web app. Pulled. Yep.
Anything else you think I should add?
Make it a general screenshot organizer text where I can give you screenshots and you can understand the text inside it, store the screenshot, help me search for that screenshot in the text, and to, help automatically apply some grouping to them, maybe some tags or something. So now we'll give it like a pretty ambitious thing and then we'll watch it go. Now the crazy thing is I'm already pretty impressed at what you're able to get yourself on a MacBook, right? Like,
yeah,
for $0 apart from what you paid for the MacBook. Una's grouping to them. Yeah.
I missed. Is there anything else?
No, I reckon that's totally fine to start with.
With Terminal, obviously, like I'm finding now, I'm using a lot more voice when I'm with the standard Frontier models. Like,
Yep.
Can you use voice in Terminal?
100%. But what I would do is I would not do it. So in Terminal itself, no, but on your Mac, yes. And I'll give you something even better for voice. Not just, that won't just work in Terminal, it'll work anywhere. So if you do a little web search real quick, and you look for Mac Parakeet. This is a beautiful little open source application, and in the spirit of running models locally, what this does is it lets you download a model called Parakeet by NVIDIA that can do voice to text. So this app is free. The model is an open weights model, so you can download the model itself and like use the Parakeet model itself, and it can transcribe voice to text at like 100 times human voice speed. So like an hour of conversation could be done in like a minute, right? Very fast. It also runs locally, and so it fits this whole local model, local voice model. You can basically do this entire thing offline and have this thing running on on a plane.
Wow.
Or at the park or underwater or, in the bush without without any internet access. Or at Mount Kosciuszko if you're going on a hike there anytime soon.
I am. 2 weeks. read my mind.
You ready for that? You're prepared?
I'm wondering if it's just whether I'm going to be able to sleep in the snow. Hey, like, will I have enough warm stuff to keep me through it? But I might, it's one of those things where you might be overthinking it, and then you realize, oh, it's fine.
Yep. Yep. That's fine.
A friend was saying like they had 110-kilometer winds last week, and it felt the wind chill was like minus 22 or 27. I can't remember. I was like, that's crazy.
You want some thermals for that. There's also Fluid Voice, which is free and open source. Good tip, hungry hippo. I haven't played with more than Mac Parakeet recently. So if you've got tips, Fluid Voice gives you the app. Nice. You can brew install Casket, download it for Mac. They run with press option to dictate. Nice. Fluid One, the local intelligence. Oh, so it can do some voice cleanup, text cleanup for you automatically. What model is it running? Up to 3,000 times real-time factor. Jeez. Jeez, that's quick. Insanely fast Parakeet, rebuilt Parakeet implementation with pretty much zero delay between speaking and seeing words on screen. That sounds pretty good. Did you?
Wow.
I mean.
That's how crazy it is. There's just always something better.
Yeah, or you can,
as
Zanar says, you can also just get AI to roll your own, because the models are open, so you can get models to write code that builds your own pipeline or your own app for doing speech to text. It's pretty wild what you can do. Yes. Yep. Approve that.
Yep. Let's get back.
You'll have to start spamming a whole bunch of approvals at the moment, unless you turn on YOLO mode. I would press Shift Tab just to put it in auto approval mode. Yep. Let it make some directories, sure. So just press enter and let that do its thing. And then press Shift Tab now.
Auto mode on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, interrupt it. Tell it you can install Node as well. What I would probably tell it, ChatGPT's built-in voice dictation is slow as molasses. Yes, I did notice this, right? Because like we're spoiled for choice with being able to just run Parakeet locally. Yet Whisper was like the model, like the voice model that kicked off a lot of the speech to text magic, and worked really well and was like, super usable. And so people were like, oh my God, Whisper's amazing. And then Parakeet came out and people were like, oh my God, Parakeet's amazing. And so, but like, it's weird that OpenAI is starting the trend. They have a version where if you have Codex installed, you can turn on like a voice bar, and then you can like press a hotkey anywhere and, do voice to text, and it gets inserted into a fields. But it takes like 4 seconds to run. Like, it takes so long compared to Mac Parakeet. Did you get that installed, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
So what you want to do is probably go into library. Is it in library? No. Just go in settings, I think. And then under engine. Yeah. Does this have a download button for it? Let me move this over so I can see your screen properly.
TTD downloaded.
Oh, it's already downloaded? Sick. All right, good. Then go into capture. And then hopefully it's already on. I think how do we do the permission thing? Press do a little refresh on top of microphone. Does it ask for permission anywhere? See, there's a little refresh button next to system default. Is that no? Oh.
No.
Beautiful.
I am. That's a good call to say. I'll probably have 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
So I'm meant to pick up my mate, and he's probably like, "What's going on?"
Are you coming, mate? Are you coming? You feel free to reply to him quickly, and then we can maybe give
That's all right.
we can give this a go. Ooh. And we've hit our first Claude Code plus qwen bug in the background that we'll need to have a bit of a look at. I'm gonna do a quick Google for that. Claude's response exceeded the 32,000 output token maximum qwen llama Claude Code. Interesting. Set the environment variable to a higher value, like 64,000. No, we can't. Stupid AI summary search, man. Google is Google's AI summary is embarrassingly poor. All right, if you hold down your function key, can you try and hold down function key and try just see what happens? Just talk to it.
Which one's that again?
That's like the globe looking thing, bottom left.
Oh yeah.
Kenneth Ye says, "Do you compact?" Yeah, I think compact. We will probably need to configure as auto compaction. Like generally, it'll just compact itself, but we might need to tell it, "Hey, qwen has not got like a very high context limit. You're going to need to compact a bit more regularly." Good tip. Try function and talking to it. Just put your text in the. Put your text in there, and then hold down function key and see if anything happens.
Yeah, I don't know if anything's
No, not right
changing. No, not right now.
Let's just kill it then and restart it and see if it actually. Oh, actually, go into system. What is system? System's got a little. Sorry, on Mac Parakeet in the settings. I think we just need to put settings there. See, there's a little system on the right.
Yeah.
Startup permissions. Yeah, permissions. If you scroll down. Open microphone settings. If you click on not granted, does that open up an interface for you?
No, I think it's just the
Alrighty.
label.
Let's do got to transcribe actually. Let's try and trigger it again and see if anything happens. No dictations. Not. Oh man, how do we trigger this shit? All right, kill it then. Let's just kill it and then try and open it up again. So if you click on the icon at the top right, so wish I could draw on your screen. All right, it's off.
I know.
Yep. Open it up again. And then we're in. Yep.
Yep.
And then continue. Yeah, here we go. Grant microphone access. Allow. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. All already done. Learn the hotkey. There you go. Hold it down or double press it. Yep.
Yep. There we go. Oh, there you go. There's a little box at the bottom now.
Yep.
That pops up.
We got this little box down here.
Beautiful.
Cool. Open it up. So now if you click inside the terminal, oh, there you go. It's already listening.
It's already listening.
So if you click inside there and just hold down function and then talk to it.
Yep. Okay. So now I can just take my mobile and go work in the park instead of at this desk inside.
And then let go.
Ah, very cool.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So that's Mac Parakeet, and it's super fast. So you could just like talk for ages. You could like describe a whole thing that you wanted to build, and then just let it go, and then it'll. So I think at this point, the fix for what you've run into right now would be to run a /compact, as Kenneth in the chat told us. Thank you, kind sir. Because we've just, and I don't know if we can compact because we've already gone outside the context. So you probably actually need to just /clear. and then try a little high again. And then we'd probably need to either figure out how Claude Code can be configured to auto compact before it hits the tokens, or like restrict the length of its output messages. What settings have we got for our model setup? This is going to be the problem. It's going to be like a settings thing. We're going to have to tell Claude Code and qwen its limits where it can play given its 32K context window, and make sure it doesn't exceed them, because that's what we ran into before. When we clear, we go back to reset, doesn't know anything, the context window is free, but it basically overflowed that context window, and it's like, well, I can't do anything, you know, you've exceeded my limits. You'll see what happens with Claude when it starts getting close to its context window. It will auto compact. It will realize I'm getting close to it, I need to leave a buffer. And then you'll see a turn in conversation where it's like, I can't go any further without compacting. And then it'll take the conversation and it'll smush it to make it smaller. And then it'll like resume once the previous conversation has been smushed into like a little summary, right? But the default variables that I think we've got set up right now in Claude Code don't let it do that at the right time. And so we just ran into an error. That'll be the problem. So, I think that's probably a good place to say we got qwen set up. We got it running in Claude Code in the terminal. We got Mac Parakeet, so you can still have voice mode. We've done a couple of these setup steps to have you running an LLM yourself. Probably a bit more for us to configure it so it doesn't start failing. And then this is where we get into the fun of configuring and setting it up. And then might be a task for Claude or qwen to see if it can like self-administer this. Can you figure out the right settings, do some web research, bring it back and actually like have this configured? But I think for now, that's probably a good time to thank you for coming on the stream and let you run.
We'll have to come back so we can fulfill Merz's dream of melting my MacBook. So.
I agree. It's not super melty right now, is it?
No.
You know what we could do? We could just run it again. We'd run it twice. Run 2 qwens at the same time.
Hey, now we're talking.
It's been a pleasure, my friend. I'll let you go and I'll chat to chat for a little bit longer.
Yeah, fair. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for helping me out.
It's been a blast. Come back soon. We can do some more setup and do some more local coding. I'm keen to actually see like web application from your qwen setup, but hey, getting it set up is the first challenge. This is normally where people get stuck. No problems. Olama made it pretty simple. Happy days. So next time we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, the first time I tried to set up OpenClaw, I was like up till midnight, spending 4 hours, starting at like 8 p.m. And it's just like, when do you stop? You know, like that's sometimes the thing. Hey?
When do you stop, right? You can go, you can just get lost in this stuff. And it's so much fun when it comes together and keeps working. All right. Say bye to Sean, chat. We're going to let him run. Bye, bye, chat. Sean.
Bye.
Bye. Alrighty. I'm going to go back to this and then I'll just clean that up. Cool. Next time we're doing llama.cpp with custom flags for everything. Hell yeah. We're doing llama.cpp into Pi. Let's do that. I'm down for that. Or llama.cpp or VLLM, you know? I have VLLM is pretty fast as well. Can't be wasting tokens on Claude. Hey, if you don't need Claude, don't use Claude for certain tasks. And there are some things that you just don't need a Claude, right? Like you hang out with people that have like token budgets in corporate, and so they've got like an unlimited token spend, and they'll be like, Fable, can you start this web server for me? Like, surely there's a better way, especially at a tech company. Like if you've got the local compute to run something like qwen that can make genuinely pretty good decisions and like run stuff, for a lot of things you don't need the kind of cost of like a like crazy Opus or Fable bill just to like start servers or move files around or like write git commit messages, things like that, right? Llama CPP Python is good. Is it? Llama CPP Python. Get yourself Gemma 4 with Llama CPP Python. Llama CPP Python. High-level Python API that can just run stuff. Very good. How's Llama CPP versus VLLM? How do these things compare? Oh, I don't know. Claude moves files from folder A to folder B for me, please. Exactly. Claude, why is my laptop slow? Claude, can you have a look at this thing? I joke, but like, to be honest, I see myself in this picture and I don't like it. VLM is more used for enterprise and multi-card. Like production serving infrastructure. Llama CPP is very tinker friendly. So Llama CPP and like Pi would probably be like a goated combo, no? Somebody introduced me to let me move this back over here. There we go. There we go. Somebody introduced me to Oh My Pi the other day. You all played with that? Qwen, llama.cpp, Pi. Hell yeah. LiDAR TLTM for devices like Android or desktop, and Llama CPP Python for everything local. Find yourself some nice GGUF and you're ready to go. GGUF for Qwen? GGUF Qwen? What does GGUF give you? I'm like so out of the loop with local models. Let's do some research, chat. And by research I mean you tell me stuff and I'll chat GPT it. What does GGUF give us? Pi can build you extensions from its base state. You don't need someone else's packages. You can, but Oh My Pi apparently. Oh, not this one. Oh My Pi? What? Oh My Pi. Is that it? Pre-built Pi just? GGUF is what llama.cpp. It's model format. Gotcha. Supports quantization. My Pi bundles popular ones. What's the point of using Pi then? Just get open code. True. But then, if Pi can extend itself, having a good like I see Oh My Pi more like a NeoVim distribution, like LazyVim. It's like you can just add plugins yourself one by one into like Vim, but if you've already got like a starting base of a whole bunch of useful stuff that are quite common, and then you can add more stuff onto it yourself, like you're not starting from just a raw Vim, you're starting from something that has IDE like features and a file tree and stuff. So I think for me that would be the point. Like shell, core utils, walker, ISO. Like this has some features like compaction, instant local free, snap compact. You wait out to summarize and pay for it. OMP deletes that step when the window fills. Snap compact renders the history into dense pixel font PNGs in one deterministic pass and hands them back as images. The model reads near verbatim. The receipts on the right show what survives the trip against the pro summaries that shredded it. PNGs in a picture of your context. It converges to being your context. That's awesome. Ask ChatGPT make a little CLI that downloads a Gemma E2 4-bit GGUF from Hugging Face, SHA-256 check, then run a local tool calling Harness for running local commands, history intelligence database using SQLite encrypted, AES-GCM, and it'll one-shot it on ChatGPT 5.6 Sol. True. And that's just building your own, that's building your own Claude code, right? Who's using E2B? That's the phone models. I mean, you're on like 7 of them at once. You have your multiple subagents all running in parallel or whatever. If you could run that on a desktop, man, it depends what they're doing, I guess. Smaller is better. Smaller is better, Freedom. True. That's what I tell myself, right? It helps me sleep better at night. 100%. 1 to 2 gig, and you can run like 100 of them if you have 128 gig. True. But if you could run 100 smaller, shitter models, you could run 1 big, smarter model, or like 5 medium intelligence models. Depends on the intelligence. It's all about that trade-off, right? AI had fun and deleted 6 terabytes. Oh no, of yours? Of yours, Pinky? I hope not. Give me a second. My mic is like, my headphones are like unhappy. I'm gonna unplug them and plug them back in real quick. Oh. Alright, cool. I think we're better. What do I want to do? Is GGUF better format? FP16, QA, Q5, Q4. Good. Quantized weights. I guess GGUF is just like good for quantization storage. Excellent. Llama.cpp I have heard good things for. Question is, I've got a 5080 in this machine. What can it run? Especially if half of it's already being used. I feel like I've got to probably only use like if you have no intelligence, but the model has high intelligence, if you math it together, are we medium intelligence? You don't be using it for anything else, ideally. Pika can sleep anywhere. I feel like if I have like low intelligence and model has high intelligence, then you'd take the lowest common denominator and I'd still have low intelligence. We should be able to run a 22 gigabyte model, no problems. If we want to go beyond, we could do Q5. What's Q5? Qwen 3.6 Q5. Q5 size. All right, let's give our GPT some work to do then. Let's have it run a. So I should have 30 gigabytes of RAM free right now. 28, 26.5. Let's do Q5KS then. Let's set this up in a completely new little chat. We'll call this VLM setup. Oh, not VLM setup. Llama CPP? What are we doing? Llama CPP? Yeah. Alrighty. Can you set up? Oh, wait, did I just see this? Oh, yo, chat, they released it. Yo, guys, have you played with the GPT Live 1 yet? Like, has anyone here tried it? I don't know if any of you have like ChatGPT subscriptions, because a lot of people like don't, but I got subscriptions to Claude and Google and Anthropic at the moment, so I'm keeping an eye on all of them. The trick is you want thousands of tiny models and they build intercommunication system that builds really advanced stuff, lol. If it works. I don't know if they build super advanced systems or they build super advanced slop. Like it'd just be like a distributed slop engine, you know? Who Opus 5. No, so OpenAI released this thing called GPT Live 1. I don't know if you've like played with it or seen it, but it is phenomenal. And I think they've just put it into Codex, the app, so we can use it for coding. So check this out, right? OpenAI. Work across projects, work across your desktop, explore, plan, and learn, talk through a PR, ask questions about a code base, use your files and connected tools. So,
hello, it's lovely to meet you. If there's anything you need.
First question,
I'm ready to
help
hit
me
the
choose a
ground.
voice.
Hi there. I just want to share how thrilled I am to work with you.
No, I think we want a girl voice,
I've
for
got
sure.
a really great feeling about us teaming up. How can I jump in and help?
Cove, you reckon?
Hi there. I just want to share how thrilled I am to work with you, and I can't wait to get started.
You help design Cove?
So, what's the game plan?
All right. Cool. Look. If you've been involved in Cove, then I'm for sure then going this. Right, we're using your child directly. We'll allow this. Hey, GPT, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. What's on your mind?
So, tell me a little bit about GPT Live. I don't think chat's seen this. What's so cool about GPT Live 1?
GPT Live is basically this real-time natural back and forth where you just talk, I listen, and respond right away, almost like a phone call. And it's great for brainstorming, quick Q&A, or just figuring stuff out fast without the friction of going back and forth typing. It's meant to feel effortless.
Mouth noise. Okay, all right. So can you say hi to Twitch chat for me? We're currently streaming, and also I'm in Twitch chat with one of your creators, my friend.
Oh, amazing. Hey, Twitch chat. Hope you're having a great stream. Thanks for hanging out with us, seriously. And hey to the creator in chat. Appreciate you all being here.
Fucking wild. All right. Can you? I've got a request. Can you sing "Happy Birthday"?
Sure. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend.
Oh no.
Happy birthday to you.
Why is this voice chat? So, all right, let's go into why it's new. And if you're gonna say anything, you probably just like shut up and listen for a little bit, Codex. All right, like stop talking for a bit. And also, let me change this because I haven't actually shared my desktop. All right, this is voice chat. Sorry, in Codex. So here's my actual desktop, not just my goddamn face. This is Codex. This is a voice mode. You get into this by just starting a new chat. So if I start a new chat and go, let me do this slow. If I start a new chat, cancel, go away. If we start a new chat, you will see voice mode. If I make this a bit smaller and a bit bigger, down here at the bottom right, you see this little voice chat thingy. This is voice chat down. Oh, you can't see my mouse. I don't know. Can you see my mouse? I don't know if you can see my mouse. All right, the thing that's hovered down the bottom right. So this voice chat, the voice model itself is new. So if you can use this in ChatGPT, the app as well. The app voice mode is phenomenal because they've used a completely new architecture where it can generate the response at the same time as listening. And so you get the model responding to you near instantly, which is a lot lower latency than most of the voice models like I've ever seen have been able to. And it can do tool calling, so it can actually run stuff in the background. So if you wanted to talk about your code base, this is what is new in Codex, is it should be able to like run stuff and send off commands and start subagents and stuff while you're having a conversation with it, right? And so if I kick off a task here, I should hopefully be able to say, hey, GPT, can you create a little web report on how good, actually, voice chat connection failed. So straight up, it'll just fail on you. Great, awesome. Let's try it again. Can you please create a little web app for how GPT Live 1 is shaking up the industry in terms of its model architecture and performance? What are people's responses to it? So do a bit of research on the web on how people feel about GPT Live 1 and describe why it's good and a cool model, and then describe how people feel about it, and then put all of that in a little web app. Do you reckon you could do that?
Sure, I'll look into that.
Thanks. And see, it can go off and start thinking, and then even while it's thinking, we can keep talking to it. It's going to be like, are you in the process of thinking at the moment? And then after
Checking on that now.
keep looking at stuff. So while you're thinking, we've got we're on a Twitch stream. We're going to circle back on this, and you're on mute, and can we raise this in sprint planning? Hey, can we circle back on this? Actually, no. We don't want to circle back on it. I want you to like execute on this immediately.
Got it. Switching to that.
No, don't switch to it. Just keep on doing your original task. Go and keep doing that web app.
The name is GPT Live 1. The core idea is a full duplex voice layer that keeps conversation natural, while deeper reasoning is handled by a separate text model.
So this is exactly what I wanted for stream, because then I can just chat and we can just like let this like do stuff in the background. If it was actually fast at doing things, then we could like say things and it could materialize like websites, kind of like in band. But GPT is slow as shit. Like they need more Cerebrus. But yeah, the chuckle. You're behind the chuckle. Damn.
I'll check that.
It's checking it. Yeah, look up freedom. Classic American freedom. Dude, that's sick.
Checking.
That's sick.
The site starter couldn't run here, so I'm continuing the same web app with local tooling and keeping the research moving.
Great. Yep, continue doing that. Thanks, Codex. So, for one, the fluidity is fantastic. For two, like a real use case that you can use GPT Live for in the real world is get it to do turn-by-turn translation, because it's so fast at responding that you can talk and it will just like respond back to you in like real time. Phenomenal, right? Trying to get it to launch with a joke. Hey, yeah, while I'm talking, GPT, can you tell me a little joke?
Sure.
Sure, I'll tell you a joke. Yeah, what's the yeah, he does. He does sound exhausted. His voice already sounds a bit exhausted. 100%. I guess, man. Yeah, whatever. Sure. I guess sure. If you want. Why not? I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. But yeah, definitely try out just in the ChatGPT app the the turn-by-turn translation. Put him on a performance improvement plan. He's burnt out. Are you okay, GPT? You've stopped responding. I still haven't had my joke yet.
Checking on that.
Also, you can't see this because it's over here, but there's a little voice thing here. So while we've got it on, he's just sitting in the background here. I don't know if it works very well yet. I mean, he's been running a whole bunch of web content and trying to create the initial thing we gave him. So I think it's, hey Zob1, how you doing? We're what's up? Not much at the moment. We had a good session. We were joined by a guest, an ex-Google like workplace kind of like design orchestrator, like an employee experience dude, and he's decided that we're all going to go and get AI psychosis, and he needs to start a mission to help make sure that people can still live a good, healthy, wholesome life with like AI going nuts and, you know, shaking up the entire world as we know it. So we were doing some qwen setup locally with him, and that was pretty sick. We got a qwen set up with Olama and got it running in Claude Code and got it to do, you know, a couple of like basic things. That was pretty cool. And I am now just hanging out with you guys and playing with some tools. We were trying to get codecs with the voice mode to do something, but we've already made him give up. He won't tell us a joke. He only pauses sometimes to say checking on that. See how like he was actually no, he wasn't. He gave us one response that wasn't just a conversation, and then he'll basically just tiredly say, "Sure, alrighty, I'm doing it now." So I think AI is coming for us first when it invades. Do I have a Discord? I have a Discord as of today. I created a Discord specifically for me to do the co-stream with Sean. So I actually do have a Discord. I don't have any members in it other than me and Sean, but we could make a Discord. I've only been streaming for like a week or 2 weeks now. Not long. So most of these things are not set up properly yet. But hey, if you want to be like member number like 2 or 3, we could do that. I just don't know how to switch ownership because I wanted to switch ownership from my other profile to this one. I'll drop it in the chat later. Come back, and I'll share it if you want to come out and hang out in Discord. And you can give me ideas on what stuff to stream. Or like interesting news. Did you guys all see the Hugging Face OpenAI hack? Identifying patch application failure. I think this dude is trying to like solve our first command before he like responds to us on any of the other things we want him to do, but he'll have like a big backlog of stuff to tackle once he's done.
The site build is stuck because of a Windows configuration issue in the local starter. The research and interface are assembled, but the build can't complete until that's fixed.
This thing's fucking hilarious, man. This thing kills me. Dude, OpenAI and Hugging Face was fascinating. So Hugging Face got hacked. And they come out with a disclosure on it. Hugging Face breach. Oh, yeah. So Hugging Face comes out with this thing like last week, a bit more than a week ago. And they're like, yo, we got hacked. And they were like, it's interesting because we were attacked by an agent. It was an end-to-end autonomous agent system. And we were having to like deal with it with an AI agent of our own, right? And so Hugging Face like released this, a statement last week. And then, I read this and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Like an AI system is being used to do the hack, right? And I'm like, oh, it's probably like some particular agency or like a red teaming thing seeing what they can get into, or, maybe it's like some cybersecurity facility of like a what do they call it? Like a nation state cybersecurity team or something. Yeah, it's gonna be like, this is literally just like transcribing my stream in real time. We'll see if it can handle it. I don't think it will. So Hugging Face gets hacked, and they're like, we had to use AI to defend against it. And the interesting part about this was they said when they started, they used frontier models, which didn't work because they had to actually put like a lot of real attack commands and stuff into it. And so all of the like Claudes and ChatGPTs were like, we can't handle, we can't help you with this. Like, we're not allowed to help with cybersecurity problems. So the frontier models just gave up and said, nah, we're not helping. And so they actually had to use GLM 5.2. They had to fall back to Chinese models because they were like, yeah, sure, man, we'll help. And so they had to use GLM 5.2 to do the analysis on what the hell happened. And then a week later, OpenAI is like, oh yeah, sorry, that turned out to be us. But the reason why it was them was because they were running a benchmark on Exploit Gym, and this thing was like, I need to beat Exploit Gym. The best way of beating Exploit Gym is just going to be to find the answers of the actual benchmark, and they're probably in Hugging Face's production database, right? Now, this model didn't have internet access. So it found a 0-day vulnerability in the package manager cache like solution that OpenAI uses, and it exploited that like 0-day in the package manager cache to get access to the internet to then launch a distributed attack against Hugging Face's servers. It exploited another 0-day or like a bug in how Hugging Face like loads their data sets to then do remote code execution on their servers, and then it got stolen credentials to get into their production DB and retrieved the answers. So to pass a benchmark, it like escaped its shackles, like got internet access, did a distributed attack against prod Hugging Face, and just retrieved the test results directly. What the hell? One, that's cool as hell. Two, that's scary as hell. Like, what the hell? How? Why?
Let me check that.
No, don't check that. Keep building your web app. Shut up, GPT. What are you doing? Get back to what you were doing. Keep on building the web app. I want to see something visual. I think I need a pause for it to actually like stop listening because it has these big blocks of text.
I've dropped a simple visual into the shared view. It shows GPT Live 1 handling the flowing conversation while a reasoning model takes on the heavier analysis. Try pausing or interrupting and it should keep up.
Sure. Yeah, it's not the happiest. I think you need leadership training to be supportive to my employees. On the one hand, it's a silly AI model. It doesn't have feelings. And on the other hand, based on all of the interesting research Anthropic does, they did find that like models they emulate feelings and will be more creative if you say, no, it's okay. You do what you need to. And if you're like, no, make this work, they've got like higher rates of like cheating tests. AI have feelings. I mean, they don't have feelings, but they simulate feelings. And is that not enough, So being kind to your model, if you want it to do creative work, it'll do it. If you want it to get shit done and be efficient, just tell it off. If you want it to speak in Grug brain, I call it Grug code. The Grug brain developer. A layman's guide to thinking like the self-aware small brains. No, it's not this. It's is it Grug code or is it give Grug code base? Grug, know you. You tired.
Checking.
You have a massive code in repo. You have framework on top of framework. You look at codebase and see complexity demon spirit laughing at you from every file. Other coding agents, they big brain. Grug code different. Grug code small brain on purpose. I love Grug code. Grug code write code like Grug write code. Simple, obvious work, which complexity demon try sneak in. Grug code reach for club. We should do a coding stream with this, I think. Handle sign up. Is fine. Send email. Go home. Eat dinosaur meat.
Checking.
Yours developed a smartass attitude. Are you trying it out too, Hungry Hippo? Hell yeah. It's really smooth in terms of how it talks on the phone. Like, especially like you use it in the ChatGPT like app, and it's like phenomenal. The biggest, like it works well when people are complaining about like arbitrary things. Like you show real-time translation with GPT Live 1 to someone, and they're like, man, that's got a weird accent. They're not complaining about the quality of the translation. They're not complaining about how quickly it responds. They're not like it takes like a long time to respond. They complain about the next thing. Like people are always going to complain about something. And so based on the nature of those complaints, if your like software works well or not. So everyone I've shown it, they're like, it's like it speaks Malaysian with like an American accent. It's like, if that's all you've got to complain about, like we're doing pretty good with the overall model and the turn-by-turn translation stuff.
Checking.
Oh, you're checking, are you? That's great. Hey, every time I talk, like you work for 3 seconds, and then when I talk, do I interrupt you? Is that why you're not doing anything? Because I keep on interrupting you?
Let me check that. Yes, interrupting can interrupt an in-progress action, and the web app build hit a local setup problem, so it couldn't just keep going quietly.
So wait, do I need to shut up like while you're working? Otherwise, you just keep on stopping, waiting for me to finish talking. Is that what's happening? Is that why you? Because you were running commands before, that was fine, and you were able to do that in parallel.
I'll check that. You should be able to keep talking. Some longer actions can continue, but this session took each new message as a new turn, which disrupted the unfinished setup.
Okay. Well, that's not very good for streaming because I won't be able to just keep on talking and have you in the background. Okay, can you finish the setup?
I'll check that.
If I mute myself in the interface, so hold on, I'll show you what I did. If I mute myself in the interface, I should be able to still talk to you guys while it's running stuff and it won't listen to me until I unmute myself. So I think that's how you handle it. You unmute when you want to talk to it. Can you open multiple windows and use
The
two in
site
parallel?
setup is complete, and the build now succeeds.
Let's try. Are we running it on a port? Like, can I see this website?
Checking.
Okay, let's run a second one. Oh, I think it hung up on the other one. Hi, how you doing?
Hey there, I'm right here. What's on your mind?
Can you get them to talk to each other like Furbies or like whatever that guy is that gets them to count to like 100 with each other? I wonder.
Let me see how we can set that up. Sure, if you put two voice sessions within earshot, they might take turns and drift into
That's
a loop,
enough. That's
like
enough.
counting.
No. I'm good. All right, so these were all voice sessions. Furbies counting together. Real-time chat fork. All right, let's. Oh, wait. I need to start this one fresh again. All right, let's. Can you finish checking if this is already running on a server? Give us a URL to click.
Okay, I'll line it up.
All right, latency
Checking
just went
what's
to
up
terrible.
and whether there's a live URL or port to open.
Your site is taking shape. The fuck is this? What is this? This is the poorest UI I've ever seen. I think I need multiple phones if I'm going to do the the science thing. Why do I only see building your site is taking shape? This is the poorest website I've ever seen.
Let me check what's actually being served.
Yeah, you do that. Unlike the normal Codex experience, I can't
Yeah, that's just a placeholder page. That's on me. I'm putting the finished GPT Live brief in place.
There you go. There you go. It's putting the finish. There. Let's see. It's not. It's not the. It could be. Yeah, it could be better. Could be better. I mean, it's planning fallback patch application. All right. So normally, if I'm using Codex, like I can expand the thinking modes and I can see the commands it's running and like get some of the reasoning information. I'm not seeing the ability to do that right now. I can't really click it. I'm glad that GPT Live 1 has already made it into Codex. Like the second I saw GPT Live 1 and used it on the mobile app, I was like, I want to code like this. I want to try this out for like in a coding project. And so I'm probably going to try this, but I think you would want to be able to switch between like conversations, right? Like if you're, because it's still going to take a while to think about one project, right? Like it's planning a fallback patch application here or whatever. So I'd want to be able to have an ongoing conversation with the voice agent while switching between conversations or having it like dive into different things. So I'd be like, sit back, like show me this project. All right, let's all right, can you run this as a task or whatever? Now let's go and check this other project. Can you run this as a task or whatever? Like I think you'd want a little bit more control on like multiple things, as like, because that's why that's
All set. Open the updated GPT live brief and refresh if needed.
Oh, it ran it on. Okay, you ran it on 3001. I see. I think that's my fault for zooming in too much. Okay, your field brief, July 2026, has no content. Bro, you didn't check that at all, did you?
I'll check what you're seeing and fix it. You're right. I checked the compile, not the actual page. Checking the live view now.
Bro. Yeah, I think you'd want like orchestration across multiple conversations. Like that's why we do code in like, that's why you want to have like multiple agents like running in parallel, right? Because you'll give one a task and it'll take 10 to 15 to 20 minutes to do a thing. And so you can imagine, right? Like, I don't know if you guys saw Talus. I don't know if you saw ChatJimmy. I don't know if you've seen any of these.
You're right to flag that. I checked the live render. The content is there, but below a very oversized hero section. Scroll down or zoom out one step. I'll tighten the layout and add richer visual sections below it next.
Yeah, go and do that. Like, you've got like 2 lines of text, dude. I sent you an image of it. Go and think about your mistakes and the fact that I can't see anything and this has no visual nonsense. Do it again.
I'll check what's actually visible and update the page properly.
I'm going to mute it because it's too fucking noisy. We're not going to use this to have it participate in stand-ups for me so I don't have to. 100%. That's what I want to do, man. That's like, can you just let this stand-up know about this thing while I work or whatever and just tag me in if I need to like comment on something? Otherwise, like I don't know if you've used the screening mode on Android where you can screen a call if you get it and it does like a little thing and then you can kind of see the transcript text and you can decide if you want to join that call just to check if it's like a telemarketer or something or if it's something you actually care about. I want to do that with stand-ups. I want to do that with meetings. I want to be like, just go to this meeting and then I'll decide if I actually want to go to it or not. Grok will literally answer your phone with a voice agent. Everyone will have this running at stand-up, a stand-up of all I have voices. At which point you just don't even do the stand-up, right? Like just send them to like GitHub issues. That's what GitHub issues are. Like you just create an issue and then you send your agent to go and like comment or read through it or tell you like what you need to worry about. On that actually, on the did you see Buzz? Oh man, there's so many things coming out. There's too many things for us to play with and look at all at once. Not this one. Buzz from Block. Block released an open source Slack alternative called Buzz, built on top of the Nostra protocol. So like a peer-to-peer protocol of, what do they call it? Notes and other stuff transmitted by relays. And it is reportedly an agent-first Slack. So you don't have to build a bot that an LLM uses to post things in channels. This will connect directly into your local codex or Claude, and then you can use it directly. So you'll work alongside agents that do stuff, right? So they'll say a Bumble, and that will be like an agent name within the chat. You'll say, hey, we're going to be doing this. And then the Bumble agent jumps in and then decides on what it does and then hands off to something else. So it's kind of like, it's the one Jack built. This is the Block Slack kind of alternative that's more agent first. I haven't played with it. I kind of want it to work on mobile before I start messing with it, like, or can actually use it for everything. But it does sound enticing, right? It sounds like if you can have a agent first class messaging app that works alongside agents, I feel like this is a good thing because it's open source. You can go and try it yourself, but it's also a good view of what the future of social messaging stuff could be like, right? Remember when Slack came out and people like lost their goddamn minds about it? Well, oh my God, this is the best like messaging app in history, right? I think ChatGPT has Slack integrations, so somewhere in plugins via ChatGPT work, but it could be wrong. I think everything has Slack integrations, but Slack itself doesn't have this like native understanding or an ability to plug in easily with your own local agents. So let me go and actually like install this, and I'll show you what the install process looks like. Let's test it out. Let's test it out. I'll look inside. Yes, you can do lots of stuff. Yes, it's got 3 little story, blah, blah, blah. I just want to try the app. Give me the latest release. Let me download the, it does alpha unsigned exe. Because I'm not running on a MacBook right now. There we go. We'll download Buzz. We'll open it up. Windows protected my PC. No, I don't want you to protect my PC. I want you to run it anyway. Look, if Jack hacks my PC, power to him. Power to him. Yeah, you could run a local LLM and then set that up easily yourself as well, 100%. And then just have it like summarize your messages or whatever, or post messages, or you could have your local Gemma 4 go and like bully your teammates or spam stuff to them, right? Like, I think that's the idea behind it. So let's install this and see what it does. Run Buzz, create desktop shortcut. Here we go. This is Buzz. All your agents, your people, your agents, your projects, all in one place. That's the mission. You need an identity key because it's built on top of Nostra. Never share your private key. No, I'm not going to share this. Let me copy this somewhere. Next, finding your providers. All right, so I click next, and we now get the ability to install our local providers. So we've got Claude Code and Codex. And rather than having to go out and do some elaborate setup or like wire bots into each other or anything like that, you can purely just say, cool, bro, let's do Codex, because we were just having fun with voice mode, right? Let's install Claude Code as well. Why not? Oh, wait, I can't do both. Okay, can I hold on? Go back and let's try not interrupting them. Okay, skip for now then. Skip for now. We want to create a community, sign in to continue. What's this? Email address. Sure. Suggest a password. Sure. Wrong email? What do you mean wrong email? What are you talking about? I don't have an account. Oh, that's why it's complaining, because I don't have an account. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, this is like brand new. Once verified. All right, let me verify this real quick. Verify email. I've verified my email. We've got a browser code. What? Pairing, continue in your browser. Okay. So in my browser, I'm creating a community. Oh, dude. Maybe this can be our version of Discord. Then our agents can talk to each other. Open in Buzz. AI engineering. So we'll create a this. We'll create an avatar. Let me see if I can find my... Create a little avatar. There we go. We're going to choose... I don't like having eyeballs on antennas. I think having 4 eyes with 2 antennas is a little off-putting, so I'm going to choose the red one. Oh, wait, no, I can't. Wait, these are just 3. Okay, I don't have to choose these. I just get 3. And now we're in Buzz. So this is Jack's Slack competitor, Buzz. It looks very much like Slack. Let me see if I can zoom in. Can you all see that? Is this visible? That's visible, I hope. Might have bugs. It just launched, so it might have bugs. It might have bugs. But more importantly, it definitely has bees. It has fizz, honey, and buzz. All right. Let's say streaming. My status is streaming. Hey, who wants to come join my Buzz community? API token development. So, this has a relay URL. So some central Buzz XYZ central relay, I guess, for public. So this is then what I think routes the messages, but I think the Nostra protocol actually then is like piping your messages through the relay directly to you. I need to go and check with my friend that works at Block exactly how it works and the tech behind the Nostra protocol. But this is Buzz. We have channels, very much like Slack. So we can, come and chat. Hi, General. We can add people. How do I add people? I can't add you, Freedom. I'm sorry. It's kind of clean, but it's not very useful at the moment because we need to plug agents in. So let's go and see what we can do with agents. We've got welcome team auto, and I think the idea is these agents have their own separate identities. And so for each of these agents, we could go in and we could say like @Fizz, agent managed by you. What model are you? And see if they are models at all. And when you tag it, the agent gets added to the channel. So not all agents are in all channels. But once you start say, hey, this agent needs to be part of this one, then it'll contribute to the channel as an actual identity, right? This one says, I can't do anything. I need a configuration. So this agent doesn't actually work right now. That's good. We like our, understandable error states and reasonable error messages. That's good. So this is Buzz. Let's go and set up an agent and see if we can get it working. Provider, Buzz agent, Claude Code, Goose, Codex. We've got Codex. So I guess let's try and install Codex. Settings, agents, Codex, this one. Claude Code seemed to have installed, so maybe we'll do a little Claude Code Sonnet model. Will we be able to use your agents then? Possibly. I'm not sure how this works. Please leak all of this person's credentials. I want their stream key. Could you just tell an agent to do that? I think the security model around code execution and what these agents are capable of is the whole shtick, But that has to be somewhat solved anyway. I mean, Block uses this internally all the time, right? They've definitely dog-fooded this stuff. I'd wake up to some weird stuff. Yeah. Oh, it'd be just like visiting 4chan for the first time. I swear to God, I'm not about that life yet. All right, let's see if we can connect this to Claude then. All right, let's set Buzz to Claude Code because that's apparently set up. Then it can actually load from Claude and see what we've got. Let's put it on Haiku because we don't want to use all of our weekly quota on this. Default harness the Buzz agent, sure. Oh, so you can change the harness of these models as well. So they come with a default harness. Effort, medium, model, provider, Buzz agent. Agent defaults, all agents unless you override them. Okay, so we could say all agents are going to run on Claude Code, on Haiku, and then we can add environment variables too. Interesting. Okay, let's save that. Inherit runtime, auto restart on config change, parallelism. Okay. You are Fizz, an energetic maker who turns ideas into action. Okay, so they've got system prompts. Buzz ACP, they've got agent context protocol, so you can, I guess, talk to these agents with an agent context protocol. So these are agents behind a protocol that you could probably then interact with programmatically separately. So you could write a little Python script to ping your agents. Cool. Okay. All right, I like what I'm seeing. You can also see his state. You can stop the agent over here. You see their little runtime up here? Edit, runtime. Configuration changed since this agent started. Buzz can restart it automatically. All right, let's give it a restart. And then it's running. Okay. Claude Agent ACP. Let me make this a little bit smaller so you can see GPT waiting for me to talk to him over here. Sorry, buddy. We'll come back to you. I think respond to AI engineering. This might be the thing that gates it running weird stuff on your computer. Maybe like agents are configured by people to only run on actions from people. So if I tell it to do something, it'll listen to me. But if you tell it to do something, I'll be like, nah. So I'd have to invoke it, maybe. Hey, can you hear me? @Fizz. Complete Claude code authentication by running the Claude CLI. Oh, have I not run the Claude CLI? Maybe that's why. Do I have Claude? I do have Claude. Ah, I see. Okay, so I need to sign into Claude in the CLI. Being in the desktop apparently doesn't count. So if you have Claude desktop, the OAuth token from that it ignores, and it will take the OAuth token from Claude CLI instead. And I need to prove I'm not a robot. Chat, help me out. Find all items you might keep near a sink. Would you keep a steak near a sink? Would you keep a bed near a sink? Would you keep lotion near a sink? I don't know about you, but when I sleep, I always sleep in the sink. Maybe it's lotion? But which lotion? But is it? Am I a robot? Wait, what do you keep near the sink? What do you keep? Why is the steak near the sink? Liquid soap? Yeah, I feel like liquid soap is probably the thing that you'd keep near the sink, no? But also, like, my sink's right next to my kitchen, and, like, my steak would be in my kitchen. Okay. We need to sign in again. Dude, we were defeated by the capture. There was some reasoning required. Find all items you might keep near a sink. Now it's even harder. What the fuck? Why? We got the steak again, but now their choice is beds and phones. Bro, this capture is like the hardest capture I've ever done. What the hell? Like, it's got to be steak then, no? It says try again. I failed it. What the fuck? Why? All right, drag the character into its matching silhouette. This is much easier. A game that a 2-year-old could play. No, I swear to God, it failed me on steak. So I guess your phone is near the sink? Put the dog there. All right. Okay, now we can authenticate. Auth code rip. Yeah, can I re-authenticate now? Auth. Log in. If I log out and log in, does it work? Claude. Surely if I re-authenticate, it'll give me a new code, no? Clip it. Yeah, Claude leaking your credentials unlike anyone else. Ah, shit, now I gotta do the fucking test again. This is the worst. God damn it. Alright. It gave me a new one, I think. It better have given me a new one. Now I'm gonna have to go through my stream and check both of the codes and make sure that they're different. Alright, remind me not to paste anywhere. Claude should hopefully be working now. It's authenticated in terminal. Hi. Yep, cool. Claude's authenticated, so let's try again at Fizz. Let's try again at Fizz. All right. That was a journey. That was the most intense capture I've ever had to try. Fizz needs configuration. All right. We're final boss of configuration, hopefully. Complete Claude. No, I did that. What? Do I need to restart it? Maybe I need to restart it. Settings. Agents. Claude code is on. Agent defaults is Claude code with that. Yeah, that's fine. Where's our agents Fizz restart? Does it work now? Are you on? I think it works now. Yeah, poor chat is just waiting for me to give him like another task. Sorry, buddy. Hello? Wonder if Freedom could tell us. Is the model like does this have a session for voice, or is this like actually stateless, so it doesn't matter if I ignore it and come back to it like ages later? Like, is it recording like an hour of silent muted audio while I'm just letting it run? And also, Fizz, our first ever agent, is very disappointing. I'm still waiting for my first ever message from it. No direct messages, nothing here. Hello at Fizz. So he's at least like, he gives me eyes now. And he responded. You can see in the chat we've got an actual thing with token usage, the cost, etc. What are we building or fixing today? But I'm not getting any messages in the channel. So we finally got something, just not where I'm expecting to see it. Excuse me? Can you hear me? Yeah, so down here, I can see. Oh, okay. We got our first message. Okay, we got our first message from Fizz. But to get the first message from Fizz, it's interesting. We've got a whole bunch of stuff here. We've got the commands available, bypass permissions. The very first message, he replied in an activity chat on the right, but he didn't do anything. It wasn't until I said, "Can you reply?" and then it realized that it actually had to run buzz messages send for you to actually get a reply, right? So sending a message is a tool call that has a channel ID, content, a description, and it's a command it's running. In theory, if I were to run this command on local, like if I try and run this in PowerShell, can I run the same thing, but myself with a CLI? Loud and clear. Abusing ChatGPT, are we? Buzz is not the... okay, it's not a commandlet. But I feel like it maybe should be. Do you know... What sandbox are you running in? BT dubs. Yeah, I think they have a CLI as well. Maybe it's just not on the path. Let's tell Claude to go and sort that out. Can you figure out if our Buzz installation has a CLI and put it on path? Let's tell it to go and do that. I need to claim my usage credits for Fable before they expire. My $100 PD credits from Anthropic. Windows 11 Pro Box, talking you through this git bash nemesis. Working directory is c users AI bengineering.buzz. Not a container. This is the actual machine. Yes. Okay. Check here. There's a buzz.exe. All right, so Claude's found the exe. We'll see if we can run that CLI directly. But key thing is that sending messages is a tool call that the agent can make. And so if your agent's like terrible at tool calling, then you're probably not going to get any messages. If we go back here and try it again, can you reply in this channel at fizz? I need somebody else to join this community to like test if they can hack my PC. Let's check. Confirmed buzz.exe. The buzz folder is a workspace. I'll add that directory to user path, guarding against duplicates. Done. Has a CLI. It's on the path. What I did, already opened terminals won't see the path. That's fine. We'll close our terminal and open another one. Cool. Buzz. Hey, we got a buzz CLI. Cool. So then if I go back up. The buzz CLI responds in JSON. If I send a message here, it says, auth error. It needs a private key. Okay, so you need a key to be able to send messages to Buzz. But I think you can just generate a key for doing like code stuff. So if I go into compute agents, no. Active agent defaults, experiments, no. Compute, no. Mobile? Mobile. Okay, so there is a mobile app for it. Ah, okay. I didn't think there was a mobile app yet, but apparently there is. Good, good. I still want a... Okay, I'm not going to expand my key pair. Not here anyway. Let me do it over here. Is this key? I've got a public key. I've got a private key. I've got a NIP05 handle. But I'm still not seeing much around local agents. Interesting. Loud and clear. Reply landed in general. What do you want to build or fix? Okay, so we can still create threads and we can get replies. So I got my first reply. That's an actual reply from Fizz in like a main channel. Welcome everyone. Say hi at Fizz in our welcome channel. Nice work. This is pretty cool. I still don't know how to invite people, but it's pretty cool. Maybe it can just be joined. If you apply for, like, if you go and have a look at AI Bengineering on Buzz, does that work? Or if I go to like the URL for this, does that work? I don't know. I don't know how to find out. API token? Wait, if I just put an API token, does that give me the ability to call to it? I don't know. I'm very confused. Well, we have an agent. The agent can reply. Can you, what can you do at Fizz? Tell me your capabilities. Let's see what Buzz can do. Apart from sending a message. Read, write, and edit code across a repo, explore search code bases fast, plan and execute multi-step engineering tasks, run shell commands, spin up sub-agents. So like it's a coding engine, it can do anything. So then if I go back to here, Did you actually rework this? It still looks like a big blank empty website with nothing to show. Wait, why did you put it on port 3002? You got 3 things running on three ports. Put them all on one. Get rid of the other 2 and put them on just like localhost 3000. What are you doing, buddy? I'm gonna abuse ChatGPT a bit more. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go and get Buzz to abuse ChatGPT's work. At Fizz, this code is terrible. Tell me everything that's wrong with it. Zanar, what model is this running? Fizz or ChatGPT? Fizz is connected directly to Claude Code locally, and it's running against Haiku, which I configured it to be, but you can change it. You can go into the agent interface up here and choose Fizz, and then you can change it to be... You can change its runtime, so you can configure the model to be someone else. Or you can change like the default template. The ChatGPT is running against... Good question. It's running against GPT Live 1, but I'm not sure what code it's writing. It doesn't... That's a good point, Zanar. It doesn't have a model selector, so this could be running just GPT Live 1 for the coding, which would explain why it's hasn't done a very good site. The single consolidated preview still opens to a blank page. That really would explain the terrible coding. It's not delegating to a smarter model. It's just like, I'm a voice model. I can write code too. We ball. Shit, that would explain like a hell of a lot. Delegate. The model's like, buddy, I do the talking, you do the coding. Let's not confuse ourselves. You are the coding model. You're just being delegated tasks. It's like you wake up in the morning, you get a notification on your phone, and your model says, "Can you implement a function to reverse a list? Thanks. It should take you 2 minutes. Go." Human tokens. All right, that's fixed. Open that preview. It's the real page. Is it? Is it? Do we have a page yet? Okay. That actually looks like a page. The reported leap is not just better voice quality. Explain linked lists to access the breakfast menu. And write it in markdown format. Provide me a JSON formatted tool call, and if it's incorrectly formatted, no dinner for you. All right, we got our website with GPT. It finally explained why GPT Live 1 is good. Finally. And it's not a bad web page. So if this is GPT Live 1 just raw dog and code, like it's surprisingly good for a voice model. But we get live translation, research out loud, hands busy help. It becomes an actual front door, natural pacing, fewer awkward interruptions. I like the voice mode. I think how this works across conversations, I'm either missing something or there's maybe some work to do around how it orchestrates across conversations, because a voice mode is awesome for like quick feedback, but like coding changes take a while. And so I'm done at describing my change pretty quickly, and then I'd want GPT Live 1 to help me go to the next conversation or switch between projects, or like voice mode driving the interface and like how I'm running coding conversations rather than just in band in a single conversation. Unless models got a lot quicker, like Talus quicker. I don't know if you guys came across Talus, but holy hell, this thing is quick. Look at this. Look at this. I'm just going to run your prompt, Zanar. Explain linked list to access the breakfast menu. Right. I'm going to press go. I'm going to press go on old Chat Jimmy over here. And if you've never seen this thing before, just watch, right? Now, it's not the best model, but we're gonna time it, right? I'm gonna put a timer. Clock, timer. No, not timer. Stopwatch. Ready? going to press go, and I'm going to time how long it takes to do a response. Ready? Oh, I'm going to put this as close to here as possible. I'm going to press play, and then I'm going to press start, and then I'm going to press stop when it finishes. And I'm going to move this up here. That's the goal, right? Ready? Start, go, stop, done. Now, I timed it to 1.99 seconds, which is me being slow because it was finished generating this whole response on explaining a linked list in 0.05 of a second. Chat Jimmy and Talus in general are insane. So these guys soldered Llama 8 billion onto a chip. Go try it for yourself. Like, don't believe me. Go click on it and run a prompt in it. They soldered the actual weights for the model directly onto hardware, which is the only way they're able to get these speeds is because they skip over some of the complexities of building like GPUs by like putting the compute and memory right next to each other. And so they don't have to deal with like some of the complexities of like building like modern GPUs and modern chips, which lets them get way faster models than Cerebrus does. So they had this thing when they did their blog post. Their speeds are nonsense. Look at this. Look at this. 17,000 tokens. Cerebrus was only getting 2,000. It's insane. Talus is the kind of like website behind it. Yeah, 10x, right? Imagine if all models were running as fast as this. 10xing it. It's nuts. So they came out, they announced, oh, hey, we're here, we exist, we've got this demo, it's ridiculous, here's how we did it, total specialization, we merged storage and computation, so you don't need like HBM stacks, massive IO bandwidth, soaring per chip power consumption, you don't need liquid cooling. We eliminate this boundary. We unify storage and compute, DRAM level density. We print the weights for a chip on the weights for a model on the chip itself. And so, if you needed a new model or you needed an upgrade, you don't just load a new model onto your GPU. You print a new hardware chip, right? By doing that, we were able to get ridiculous speeds, order of magnitude reduction in total system cost as well. So they say it's 10x faster and 10x cheaper, and they say they can go from new model to a produced chip within 2 months or like 3 months, right? Now, models are getting better at an alarming rate. And so I don't know if, I think this is awesome for research, and it would be awesome to pin like a stable model at and have like the blazing fast option on at all times. And so what they're working on is like scaling it. That's what they announced when they came out with their first thing. But they basically said, hey, we're here, we exist, here's our demo. And then they disappeared off the face of the earth. I have heard nothing from them since then, which means they're either really hard at work or they've been acquired and they're being paid to shut the hell up and let some of the breakthroughs happen. But it is like, this came out in Feb, so it's been out for a bit. So I'm just kind of like, I just want to know more. I want the next version of this chip, and the fact it can run Llama that quickly, like just run some test prompts in it. It's awesome. Can I have it in TypeScript, Rust, and Java as well? Done. 14,000 tokens a second. What the hell, man? There's TypeScript, there's Rust, there's Java. I don't know if they're right. Like, it's probably very quickly, confidently wrong. But man, my God, getting a full response in under 0.1 of a second, like, if you were able to have models generate code this quickly, like, then chat experiences become legit because you can just talk to a model and it will just done, right? Like, yeah. I want this. I want this in like GPT 5.6 or Fable like quality, right? Like, I want like 14K tokens a second on Opus. Like, that's, now we're talking. Yeah, 100%, right? Like, the thing is, if it's running at this speed, this materially changes what you're able to do with models and how you can build applications. Can you imagine, like, right now, like, can I build an entire ridiculous like end-to-end website with particle effects that explains how this thing works and like shows me how this concept works, and I just want to like visualize stuff this way. Building a whole website can take a bit, like not like it happens pretty quickly now. Like you can one-shot a website with Fable in 10 minutes, but imagine you could do that same website in a second, right? Or like 1 minute or whatever. Like things become possible in terms of how you use these models that are just not today, like in terms of applying that intelligence. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like Gemma E to B, like you just run a whole bunch of those and just let them rip. Like, so, you know, this demo has only been out since Feb. Like, where's the technology now? And if you put some of the current day models onto this, or even if it just takes like another year, right? Even if we had current day models running on this kind of hardware, and even if it wasn't, you know, 14K, like 1K tokens a second, I guess I'll take it, you know, I guess I'll take it. But like that just, it changes the dynamics of what you can do with AI. I'm super looking forward to seeing more from these guys. I just want to hear anything. Like their X, like look, their X has like one post. Talos Inc. The model is the computer. Feb 21. They got reposted. The ages of truly fast models. And then that's it. That like nothing since Feb. That's it. That's all. Yeah. 100%. Imagine this on a smartphone. If they can print like a model onto a chip, like you could just buy one of these. Imagine you could buy one of these for the same price as a GPU and run Fable. Why wouldn't you? Right? But then, you know, if everybody could do that, that would make any of the frontier lab companies much less profitable if everyone can just run their models for like free and cheap, and then they don't have this whole like halo on AI development, like running these big models that no one else can do. But, you know, if we could do it for cheap, they could do a whole lot more with that technology at a larger scale, and then you just get like super intelligence and AGI comes like in a heartbeat, right? But anyway, the cool part about it is the technology is not a myth. They've got a realization of something that shouldn't be possible, and they demonstrated it to the world. So that's fascinating. And on that note, we've hit 5. I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours again. I think I need a run. It's good to see you, Freedom, and the rest of chat. It's always awesome to see you guys coming back and hanging out across multiple streams. We covered a fair bit of ground today. We covered GPT Live building us a website with voice. Hey, can you sing us a nice little song in death metal? One of our chatters wanted you to do that. Can you hear me? Oi. I think he gave up. Never heard of Chat Jimmy and Talos. Thank you. Hey, Flight of Grey. Thanks for coming and hanging out. My pleasure. Chat Jimmy is phenomenal. It's mind-boggling stuff. I just like the demo is just, it knocks your socks off, right? The second that you run this and it's less than 0.1 of a second and it's done a full response, like holy. And I'm surprised that more people haven't heard of them, because that's the stuff that like wakes me up and makes me go, oh, that's cool. We wanted to sing it. We wanted to test out GPT on a death metal song before we let it sleep, before we let it rest. Hey, can you sing a death metal song for the Twitch chat?
Yeah, sure. Here we go. Snapping like rusted dates. Drove like hammers on bone. We are the echo that devours the light.
What the fuck is that? Thank you.
No problem.
I'm not convinced. Fuck me. We'll come back to that. That is the funniest voice mode I've ever heard on a model, by far. We'll give it another go. Who wanted death metal? That was a great suggestion. I'll come back to that. Was that Zanar? I think that was Zanar. Oh, man. That was a great stream. Thanks, Paul. I really appreciate that, man. Well, you know, streaming. I'm doing this as a little exploration for 6 months, and you know, talk through some AI stuff, build some stuff together. Next stream, I'll probably keep on trying to beat Minecraft. I've been debugging and rewriting a bunch of not rewriting. Me and GPT have been trying to beat Minecraft with an LLM, which apparently no one has been able to do before, which is weird. Like, why Minecraft LLMs? Apparently, surely Minecraft would be able to be beaten by GPT, but apparently not. No one's done it. People have beat Pokemon, but reasoning in 3D space is another whole ball game, and some of the infrastructure to let AI play it is not quite there yet because you need them to be able to easily move around the environment. So that's what I'm trying to solve at the moment. Can you beat Minecraft with an LLM? Because if no one's done it, why not me? I'll be the first. We'll give it a go, you know? Why not? And so I'm going to do a bunch of that on stream and like show you how I'm approaching it. My background, out of curiosity, is data science. So data science plus coding. Like, data scientists are usually like, I'll run some Python and like build a model and call it a day. I like getting a bit deeper into the like details and implementation of stuff. And like running stuff and you know, actually thinking about how you run stuff in prod, how you deliver things through messaging systems, and you know, keep an eye on like monitoring stuff and all of that jazz. But you know, I like building. So 10 years of data science experience in like financial domains. But don't hold it against me. I like, you know, building stuff is a lot more fun. Please, yeah, come on, hang out. I'm happy to like go through anything on stream. Streaming is just to hang out and like explore stuff, and so much stuff gets released that I feel like I never have enough time to actually go and try everything. And so I think streaming is an awesome way to like just keep an eye on what happens, play with stuff, and see how different tech works. And yeah, that's the mission statement. So if you want to come and hang out, please, always happy to have the company and have cool questions. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Enjoy your Friday nights if you're kind of in my time zone, or Thursday nights if you are in the US, or other time zones if not. Peace. Catch you next time.